he was the voice of Cain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
But they,
that was like
the people they have for these they're
one
really
so
good. They're really
I was
good.
shattered when he left.
I know. It was so sad.
Absolutely shattered.
He'll be back. I think
I don't know if he will.
he's got I think he will. He's got such a big fan base, I think, for like the critters, I guess. I think he'll be back. If not as Dorian,
Everyone
I
fell
think
in love with him.
as a player, I think he'll be back on Critical Role main campaign stuff.
I don't think they bring him back into the main campaign as a different character. Not in campaign 3.
Yeah, right.
Say that.
That wouldn't make sense. I don't think as much.
Bring it back as different. I mean, they're not finished campaign 3 for a while.
Yeah.
We've got another year to go, probably.
Right, it's what, 24
At
episodes
least 2 years, probably.
Yeah.
With that in mind, with how long D&D campaigns can go, let's get started with tonight.
What a segue!
When last we left the 6 heads.
6 heads!
You had been investigating into possible directions to travel to move forward in your quest to, well, do multiple things as such. You're trying to figure out what's happening with the world as it has recently converged with another. And then you were getting to Miletus to be there for a tournament in which Fluffy was going to be fighting. While doing that and chasing in some leads, you found you met up with a figure who was a contact of the Church of Heliod, or the religion of Heliod. And in doing so with that meetup, ran into an old friend / enemy of Amos.
Frenemies!
After a rather tense encounter, you agreed to help each other and move forward. He suggested a possible path to go and reclaim or go and find the Eidolon, and you basically went down the path that you need some money in order to get an item that you could bind an Eidolon with. With that in mind, you headed out into the world, headed out to go hunt a bounty for some bandits. With some clever thinking, you were able to catch the bandits as they attacked, and managed to kill 6 of the bandits, knocking out the last one. And as you all stand in the forest, the drizzling rain falling through the trees on your armor, the guards kind of sitting, just kind of gasping for air. At the one, there is the one fallen guard. The other seems to have stabilized, and it's just at this kind of moment that the merchant that was driving the caravan kind of peeks his head out. Just kind of looks over. Did you win?
The 6 heads are at your service. Oh, you're welcome. Amos, you do the talking.
Yes.
Very good.
One. We have vanquished these bandits. Please maybe just stay in the cart until we've cleared the area and made sure that there's no one else.
Not another wave or something.
Lying in wait.
He just kind of, no worries, and kind of tucks back in.
I'd like to drop disguise self.
Yep.
Fair enough.
You are now Azoth and no longer Azina.
Weird.
So are both, like, the 2 guards that are on the map, are they both deceased, or one of them needs to be stabilized?
One of them is stabilized, so he still has 0
they
hit
are
points.
stabilized. Okay.
So one is dead.
One's dead,
One
dead.
has died.
Which one's the one that's
to
dead?
South.
The one on the
The one
south's
to the
dead.
south is dead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The higher one is is still 0 hit points.
Yeah.
But he's stabilized, so he
Okay.
will regain a hit point in 1d4 hours.
Okay.
So,
Along with your good friend who is in front of you, unconscious but stable.
he's in front of Lyndall, right? Bandit 4?
Bandit 4.
Yeah, okay. Can I just make sure no one's really looking out the side of the carts?
Roll me a perception check if you want to have a look.
Having
Those-
seen
the
what's
drivers that kind of ducked back into the carts.
wasn't I in between the horses? Wasn't I? I'm just trying to work out why I'm down near the other
So
bandits.
we-
Think anybody
it's
really
just
have moved
happened.
around yet? Yeah.
And then
Okay.
and then it kind of ended, and then we kind of just stopped there. So I think at this point you guys have probably all
Yeah,
clustered
convened.
over together with
Yeah.
probably around where Lyndall is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be where you are on here anymore.
No,
This
that's all right.
is more-
I'm just gonna
I'll,
wander over.
Don't worry as much about the map as.
No, it's
as-
alright. Yeah.
Yeah, roll a 2.
I want to tie this guy. I know
Hard to
he's
tell.
incapacitated, but I want to tie his hands in front of him.
No worries. You've got some rope on your kit, probably.
Mhm.
I imagine most people do. Roll me a survival check for how well you know how to tie a knot.
Not great.
So we're finishing this guy off too, yeah?
Not.
No,
And I-
Right.
Fluffy.
We bring him back and
No.
turn him in.
What are we doing?
No,
What's
no,
the
no.
I
what?
mean, we have to turn. I
What
mean,
are we
it said
doing?
money for the head. It doesn't necessarily mean that they has to be off their body.
So just cut his head off?
But also,
No.
we may
14
be able
for
to
survival
find
check.
where they
No worries.
lie.
Tie some
base.
decent knots on him.
Oh.
I think that was the idea. Is we wanted to see where they're hanging out, right?
Interrogation.
You really
Wake him
are too clever, aren't you? And then what do we do with him afterwards? Can we kill him later?
Well, no, we just hand him over to the authorities. They can do what they want.
Which
with
would be
him.
useful, I think, because maybe they can get some more information
But
on
there's
how
a
their
loose end. We
organization
just-
operates.
Just
No, that's their problem. We want to make sure we
You are a bloodthirsty beast, aren't you?
I mean,
min-max, one meta.
what if we give him the decision?
Boom.
Do you want to die here or do you want to die in jail?
He's still unconscious, isn't he?
At the moment, yeah, I'm talking about later when he tells us where.
We're gonna
I
have to wake him up to talk to him. So
Can I cast healing hands on the stabilized guard?
Yeah, you can do that. Go over and do your healing hands. How many of your dice are you going to expend?
So it's isn't it now my proficiency of D4s?
And you don't have to use all of them. You can expend any number of them at any time. So it's not like all at once. It doesn't have to be one burst. You can do it in little bits, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because healing hands takes a long rest to come back, but I can do it over multiple thingies.
Let me have a look at the wording here. I can't remember what it used to be. Healing Hands now ability uses a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus of healing rather than character level. Yes, that's all it says. So it just uses d4s equal to your proficiency as opposed to level.
Yeah,
So at the
so I
moment, that's
rolled
like-
them all.
Okay, sure.
I rolled 3d4 and I got 4.
No worries. So he regains 4 hit points.
While
He's the
Amos is
healthiest of the
doing that,
of the group.
I'm going to. I mean, we said this at the end of last session, but I'm going to walk towards the back cart with my bow drawn, so it looks like I'm scouting and looking around, making sure. And then as I get towards the back of the cart, I'm peeking in to look and see what's actually.
I believe
in
I
there.
did tell you what was in it last
Yeah.
week, didn't I?
I was just reiterating. It was some kind of drug or something, wasn't it?
Last fortnight.
Last
Medicinal
fortnight,
plants.
Medicinal plants that you recognize specifically as
Yeah,
being a
because of-
hallucinogen.
a hallucinogen.
Have we
That,
searched the bodies? Yeah.
That does have other
I was
properties
about to say I was
that
going to check
you
this
don't know
particular
about them
guy's body.
specifically.
Am I able to take some without being seen?
Roll me a stealth check.
Stealth check.
While I was doing that, was there a leader that we were able to decipher? Which was the leader of the group? Was it Bandit?
I mean, it wasn't.
Okay.
Roll a perception check, kind of looking over the people that you've fought.
I don't know if for anyone. That's a natural 1.
No idea.
They
all look
were all
really similar.
blobs.
As far as you're concerned, they're all carbon copies of each other.
I want to investigate
start.
the guy that's in front of me, like see what he has in his pockets, if that's okay.
Easy. Roll me an investigation check.
So 13 stuff.
No worries. You managed to nick not a huge amount, just a little bit of the substance. It is mainly kind of there's various bits of it in kind of more of a raw form, and then there looks like some that's processed into a like a pink powdered substance. Which
Right.
what are you trying to grab?
I want the raw form, I think.
Okay. So you grab what is basically this like kind of leafy like plant.
Yeah.
That at any bits where it's broken has like this pinky residue.
Okay, cool.
Can I see if there's anyone like looking in the like? Do I see anyone else around in the bushes or anything like that?
Roll me a perception check.
That's
16.
much better.
16 on my investigation of this body.
No worries. Looking around, you see he's got various bolts and stuff for his heavy crossbow. He's got his weapons. He's got a small pouch which has 4 silver and 2 gold in it. And that is all he's got.
Okay. I'll take his weapons from him, and I'll take them over to the cart, a cart, and throw them into the back, or just kind of away from him.
Easy. Heavy
Something you can
crossbow
get
and
to.
that. Grab that, move him out of the way out of his reach.
25 on perception.
You think you can make out a figure off in the distance. Hard to see.
Which way?
And they're
Which
like
direction?
be like northeast.
I
No, to be west. Sorry, I'm actually looking at the cardinal directions of where you are.
Yep.
From this map, considering this map is technically like that. That road is is north to south, like the way it's actually traveling.
Okay.
You've got the cardinal, so it's
The other
north,
way.
east. If you swapped it, so west to the top.
Towards the
Let's go
top.
that way.
That's east.
Towards the top. Is out that way. Is west.
Yeah.
Towards the top is west.
Yeah.
The
We're
top-
going-
it's-
Oh, right. Okay.
You're heading
Right to
south.
left.
We're heading south. Of course we are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A few hundred meters out.
I clock it and I start moving towards Bandit 6 to check the body at Bandit 6, and I also want to just see, as I do that, do they move or anything?
You don't notice any movement yet. They seem to be trying. They're like kind of standing back a long way, almost trying to hide in amongst some of the scrub.
I'm gonna wander that way.
Okay. How far are you wandering?
How far away are they from me?
Probably 300-400 meters.
I'm gonna.
You want me to put that in feet or?
No. Walk. I'm gonna walk up to. I'm gonna walk within 200 meters.
So by the time you've walked like 50 meters away from the group,
Yeah.
you see them disappear into the bushes.
Right.
You lose track of them in amongst the trees.
Yeah.
And they're not where you saw them anymore.
Okay. Did I recognize anything? Did I get any distinct features of what they look like?
No.
With a 25?
Even though you had a 25, it's just like 600 meters.
Okay.
Like 300 meters, 400 meters, you still can't discern. It's just lucky enough to be able to see them.
Okay. Alright. I still cautiously, but walk back to Bandit 6 and rummage through Bandit 6. And
Probably investigation.
9.
Easy. Heavy crossbow, scimitar, gold pouch with 2 gold, 3 silver.
Cool.
I've gone over to Bandit 1 and checked him as well.
Yeah. For the sake of brevity, if you guys are like going around and collecting gold off of all of them, they've all got pouches like consisting of a similar amount as far as gold, and they've all got heavy crossbows, scimitars, or greatswords. So as a collective, if you want to do the general loot, and roll me some investigation checks if you just like want to see quickly if there's anything extra on them.
You guys roll.
Yeah,
looking for something like information or.
What did you say? 26?
Yeah, 26.
You don't find anything extra.
Fuck.
There you go. There's your.
You find his bowels.
So can we just put like all of the weapons and stuff in the back of the cart, basically?
What the next question I was going to ask is to the group is what are we planning on doing? Like, are we going to let them go on and we're going to walk back, or what are we thinking?
You guys got your horses.
Well, we have our horses.
We do have our horses
We have
with
our
us.
horses.
Yeah.
So we need to collect what we need to collect the
turn in
bounty.
the bounty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need those, whether that be, I can't remember if it was heads. I believe it was.
I believe it was too.
Okay, I will just say this. It's marked as like a head. You are aware you can just cart back bodies.
Yeah.
Or like, but you need
That's a lot of
something that
bodies.
confirms that they are dead.
We need something to confirm that they're dead.
What's small that we could like take back instead of taking back an entire
fingers.
body? No, it doesn't say that they're dead though. Well, a couple of hearts. cut out some hearts.
What about just like
we could ask if we can take
the
that.
I'm gonna
front
speak
part
up.
of their face?
I would rather not dismember people, even if they are criminals.
I mean, this guy's already half dismembered, and I point over to one of them that I cut in
yeah,
half.
but I mean, it
two
could be
bodies.
in
But a what?
Could
self-defense.
a warhorse
right?
carry
I
two
mean,
bodies?
Yeah, quite easily. You could just drape them over the back.
Could we drag
That's what I was
them?
thinking.
All of them
Well,
behind
I mean,
one
yeah.
horse.
Drag them.
Just
We could
drag them.
There's 7,
Bandits
right?
beware!
There's 6.
But
There's
like we
7
just got
still alive.
We don't want to.
like
we don't want to. We don't want to end all.
we just got married, but
thievery
instead
and
of
robbery.
cans, we've got bodies.
My man, we're getting paid to clean them off the streets. Like if
Just
we rid the world
murdered.
of bandits, there would be no money for us to be made.
Just killing.
Not just married, it's just murdered.
Just murdered.
Their bodies are
murdered.
Their bodies flapping behind horses.
It's just married, but arid is crossed out and erded is written.
Right, so I think we can put 2 bodies on the back of 3 horses. You two are off on a mad tangent, so I'm just ignoring it. 2 bodies on the back of 3 horses. That takes care of all the dead bodies, and then the last horse can carry the unconscious one. Alternatively, we can interrogate him now, kill him, and then carry him on the last horse, either or.
I mean, the other option is we see if these merchant guys actually need all their carts and we just borrow a cart.
Well, I thought of that before, but then I remembered that both carts are filled with stuff
They're
in
full
them.
of stuff.
So
All of
Say
them are
we,
full.
we can just bring them back on our horses. I think that's
That's
fine.
what I was just thinking.
Okay.
So I think we wake this bandit up, we interrogate him, try and find out where his stash is located,
Yeah.
and then possibly we can come back at a later date and do a bit of a bandit cave raid, and
Okay.
then see what we can find in their stash or whatever.
Are we ready to wake him up and talk to him? Or we got something else we need to do first?
No, okay. Let's talk to the merchant. Load the guard in the back of one of the wagons and send them on their way.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. So, we're going to collect all the bodies, kind of pile them up together, get them ready for departure. Fluffy, can you pull our unconscious bandit up against a tree? And can we tie him to the tree?
I mean, I can fix it. I've got a couple of javelins. We can
I've got his
fix him.
hands tied, and
No.
he's
Yeah.
not going to have much.
I just go and grab him. Are his hands tied together, like in front of him?
Yeah, his hands are bound
Okay.
and his feet are bound.
I go and
Like,
I grab him by the hands and I hang him on a tree by his
stick
hands.
a javelin into it.
No,
over a branch.
Yeah,
I was thinking like stick a javelin. And
Javelin.
hang his hands
I
over the
chuck my
javelin.
javelin. Yeah, chuck my javelin into into a trunk, and then put his hands over the javelin, and
So
he's
just
hanging.
sitting
Yeah,
there like this.
yeah.
You guys are into some weird shit.
Yeah. Just you wait.
All right. Who wants to interrogate
Well, I mean,
Mr. Bandit?
I'm happy. I'm happy to. I'm eager to. To be fair.
Yeah, I
Either way,
don't have a. I'm not very intimidating
All right.
person.
I give him a bit of a slap around the face to wake him up. Have we sent the people on their way? I don't really want to do this in front of these people.
The others have after. So you have a bit of a conversation with the merchant. He thanks you for what you've done. The other guards kind of like hop back like on the carts and they're like, okay, well, we might have to recruit some more people once we're gone, but we need to keep moving and get out of these forests before too long.
Stay frosty.
We thank you for
Maybe,
letting us use your wagons and safe travels onto Adonis. Is that what?
My good
No.
sir, maybe find somebody that is a bit more skilled to protect you guys with such valuable wares
Might
than
pay
the
to
greenhorns you had with you. So
might pay to
Yes,
pay
well,
some
they-
people.
it would be worth.
They
having
claimed to be much more well trained than they were.
Mm.
Kind of.
Fair enough. I guess now you know.
Buyer beware.
Yeah,
Azoth, did you have?
good
Yeah.
luck and safe travels.
Yeah, before we wake up the bandit, I would like to use my second last disguise self to take on the form of one of the other bandits. I would like someone to have me held kind of hostage, maybe put a knife to my throat.
Lindell, let's use it. I can't do
I
that
love
with a
this.
giant axe. That's really hard.
No, I can do it after a dagger.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And
pull out my
yeah, and
dagger
then
We got to tie you
When-
up. Too, though.
When you disguise self, though,
can't
do you
tell unless you're
change?
tied
hey,
up.
make sure it's tight.
All right.
When you disguise self, do you change your voice to that person as well, or?
No, it doesn't change your voice.
Okay.
Oh, gag me as well.
Oh, rip off a piece of
No,
linen
I
or
want to
something,
hear
just
you. I want to
gag-
roleplay
gag
another
me.
voice. Let's go.
No, Xena was enough.
And then take two fingers. Okay, what are we doing?
We'll
Alright, so
tie you up.
We've
yeah.
got one bandit up
Anyway.
against a tree, like strung up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've got Azoth disguised, and I'm holding a dagger to his throat.
Cool. And how long are you guys going to stand there for, slapping this dude in the face because he's not waking up for a while?
I'll cast healing word on him.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so can I cast? Is this like,
As he's unconscious for 4 hours, you can stay for a while.
so?
This guy up.
This guy's black and blue.
I don't want to heal him too much because I don't want to. If I cast, I can use a second level
No.
spot and just only cast it at level 1, right?
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It's not that great, anyways. So, what was it 2d4 plus 4? So,
Yeah.
Max HP.
Yeah. Well, it should be 8.
Just a bit of a metagame
Oh
pigeon, but
my god.
you maxed out max
Oh
health.
my
You
God. Not just roll
double fours. Oh my god!
way.
Just
Did I
gave him
have
12 HP. The guy's
12
like
HP.
feel like he can run a
man, that's pretty good,
marathon.
actually.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that
Man.
you guys called it too.
God damn it.
He wakes up, like you call out with the spell, and you see his eyes just suddenly like gaze up, and he's just like looks up, realizes what's going on, and is immediately trying to like break free.
I would remain very still if I were you.
Stop what you're doing, and I inch closer to Azoth's throat with my dagger.
Roll, roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
God, no disadvantage because I can imagine me like Lyndall trying not to laugh this whole time.
24.
He's not noticed you yet.
Okay.
24? Yeah, no worries.
24.
He's just immediately is like, what do you want?
You're
We
gonna-
need you to tell us where to take both of you to return you to whoever is your boss. If you want to live, you'll tell us where to take you. We don't want to kill you, but
and
we
if
will
I-
if we need to.
And if I tell you, you let me go,
We will, yes.
roll me persuasion or deception, whichever one that is. I think it's deception.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
Oh my god.
Roll it with disadvantage for me.
No! How dare you? I rolled an 18 and then a 4. So with my modifier, it's still a 12.
He's there. You'll kill me anyway. You have already to everyone else.
In fairness, you guys jumped us.
You can cut that. I can see my friends.
Ah,
And he kind of nods over, and there's the pile of his friends' bodies over near that you can see 6 of.
tell us now. I'm gonna use my
Rolling
I'm gonna use my
intimidation.
body. I'm gonna use my body like my strength and like getting
Yeah,
his
yeah,
face.
yeah. Go for it.
Definitely should have moved one of the bodies.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
That
That one.
Heck yeah.
Actual?
Yeah, legit. Like,
You like go for it, and you try to like posture, and you just kind of almost trip and almost fall in front of him. You're like, tell me, tell us.
I take the butt of my axe and like smack it across his face.
Okay, roll an attack with advantage. I guess it's with advantage easy
Yeah, he's tied up.
because he's restrained. He's like
Natural 20.
kill him.
Are you joking or are you serious?
I said the but. No, I'm dead serious. That was natural 20.
He takes. What's your strength modifier again?
+4.
Okay, it takes 6 points of damage.
Only 6?
I'm kind of glad
That's
you healed him up to 12.
It's not a
I know,
dice,
right?
so it's 1, which is doubled to 2 plus 4.
Right, yeah, okay. You're going to tell us now. Alright, no more games.
Spits out like a bunch of blood with the hit.
We can make this long or we can make it short. Up to you. We're not here to play games.
Two things. Fluffy and Lyndall, you're the more perceptive ones out of the group. Roll me perception checks.
Another one. 19.
Yeah, no, mine's not great. 5 plus whatever. Perception is so 11.
Fluffy, you see a figure probably within around 600 feet standing behind a tree watching you guys.
In the same
Off in the
direction that I
distance.
saw the bloke before.
Same direction that you saw a guy before.
I turn around. Amos. Ready an arrow. West of here.
Yeah, no, you
Oh,
keep going.
West of here.
Knock an arrow.
West of here.
Mhm.
West of where I'm standing. There is someone hiding behind a tree. In around your range. Just be ready.
600 feet?
Oh, that's you're not a ranger, eh?
As he's
He's
You're
got
not
a
a
short
ranger,
bow.
yeah. It's not a longbow. Damn.
as he's having that conversation, I'll walk up to this.
What about if you picked
This-
up one of the heavy crossbows out of the tent?
I'm not proficient.
guess we. Yeah,
So what
as he's having this
what are you doing,
conversation,
Linda?
I want to walk up to the bandit that's tied up, and I want to take the javelin out of the tree if I can to get his hands down and make him a bit comfortable, and ask him, sir, do you have children? Do you have loved ones?
I did.
You did. You don't anymore.
We just murdered them all.
No
Kind
one
of
to care
looks
about.
over. Kind of looks over to the bodies and then just drops his head. He doesn't respond.
Okay. This fellow further away, is he just watching? He's not moving, or I guess I don't see him actually.
Roll me a perception check now that you've been told that to see if you can see him.
Can I still see him as a...
15.
Yep. You don't. You can't spot him out there.
Can't see him. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna walk over to the bandit that is strung up. I'm gonna lean against the tree with my arm.
I'll step back. Definitely,
in
you
the
do,
way
you do,
of
you
my
got this.
mouth, so
back
that
away.
like the guy that is. I'll just I guess.
No,
I know.
you got
I
this.
know the
Go
general
ahead.
direction because Fluffy told me the general direction.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put my arm up against in the west direction so they can't see my mouth. I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
Okay.
And he needs to make a what is it?
He fails.
Wisdom,
by the way,
wisdom saving throw.
I rolled a nat 2. He fails.
Yes!
It doesn't matter what it is.
So he is charmed by me until the end of the spell, basically. He regards me as a friendly acquaintance. And then when the spell ends, he knows that I was charmed by him. So I'm going to go, Billy! How you doing?
Can I call you Billy?
Not Billy.
Just a nickname. I call all my buddies Billy.
Okay.
Look, quick question. The body's
Hey,
back
can you untie me?
I will. 1 sec. I just got to quickly take care of the guys behind us. Like, you can see them all there. It's really bad. But anyway, where am I taking them again? Like, what direction? And what area?
What do you mean?
So like all their stuff basically, I got to take it back to the boss and just got to actually like get it going. But yeah, I can't remember from where we are like how to get back to base. So which way is it? Sorry.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage because he's charmed. As much as I want to say no, just because you've just like had this guy strung up and then you're just being like, "Hey, buddy."
He is charmed.
But
What'd you say?
we'll let it ride.
Persuasion?
Yeah. He's charmed by Ben, not by
natural
anyone
19,
else.
so 24.
Okay.
Bless you.
There you go.
What do you mean you don't know? It's we were out at the out at the foothills. There was a cave out to the west.
Oh
It's,
yeah. Yeah. You're right. Sorry, I forgot that he was on that foothills, not the other one. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Okay, cool. All right,
As
well,
you're
I'll
saying
get
that, arrow whizzes over
Yeah, I knew it.
and just strikes him.
And
Clear in the
takes him
chest.
out. Yeah.
I was gonna knock him out anyway. Like as I was about to walk away, I was gonna do the whole.
Did
walk
the
away,
arrow
carry out punch?
come from the west?
Arrow came from the west.
As soon as I see the arrow hit him, I am
Yeah.
bullet a gate in in that direction,
Okay.
running at him.
Yeah. What's your movement speed?
45 feet. So
45?
90 feet. If I'm dashing.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab my horse, and I'll grab Fluffy's, and I'll go to follow on a horse.
On a horse, no worries. He's actually getting away from you, Fluffy.
Wow. But I can see him. He's like, I can see him.
In the distance, yeah,
Yeah.
you can kind of see him.
Yeah.
but he is losing you, and then Lyndall kind of comes up behind and gets on a horse, and then you see him do the same, off at this point 400 meters off in the distance.
Right.
He hops on a horse and starts bolting away as well. You guys going to keep going with just the two of you?
Yeah, Fluffy.
Yeah, let's
do we
go.
keep chasing?
Yeah, we're going. Yep.
You're pretty bloodied, friend, and I have very, very few spell slots.
I understand.
Is this what you need to do?
No, but it's what I want to do. It's what Fluffy would. It's what Fluffy would do. So Fluffy's going. Fluffy doesn't care right now. Fluffy's going.
Okay, I'll be there with you then.
Sorry,
So you guys chase. I want you to roll me a couple of animal handling checks to try and move faster than move your horses faster than what they're usually capable.
Oh, that's a 4.
Okay.
I imagine when I saw Lyndall grab the horses and start going,
You've gone as well.
Reluctantly, obviously. Yeah. Well, I'm sure I saw the arrow. Probably didn't see a person, but the arrow. Fluffy's going. People are moving. I'm not just going to stand there. So
So you're on a horse as well.
Behind Lyndall.
I rolled a 4.
No worries. So you guys.
I rolled a 19 on that one.
I rolled a 4 and then a 15.
So you start. You feel like you might be gaining a little ground once you guys are maybe 500 meters away from where you were. You see him kick off you see him rear and turn, and then just draw an arrow, and he's just waiting for you guys, and you're probably about 250 meters out, and he's just drawn and waiting. You guys going to keep on closing the distance?
I'm following Fluffy's lead, so.
Trying to think what Fluffy would do. Seeing. So 250 meters, hey?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very long one. What is that in feet? What is that in feet?
About 700 and something.
Right.
Oh.
Are there any extra details that I can make out?
We close that pretty quickly.
From
800
him?
feet.
Any details I can make out, like in terms of longbow? Is it Can I see
from what you can see, it looks like he's holding a longbow.
Yeah. Is he cloaked? Is he not cloaked? Is he dressed? Is he dressed the same as the bandits?
So he's got a cloak on.
Yeah.
From this distance, probably 250 meters, you can see that he's similarly armored. It's not super easy to tell specifics, but he is wearing a cloak, whereas the other bandits weren't.
I think Fluffy seeing the arrow and knowing that I have to cross up to 250 meters, that's going to be too far. And yeah, I do have some sense. I'm not raging yet, so I do have some sense. So I'm going to hold back and sit there and stop, and I'm going to keep looking at him and see what he does.
Can we see the surrounding area? This would be something that this bandit described to us as near where their hideout was, or I mean, I wouldn't imagine they're attacking this close to their hideout.
You'd kind of know the general area. This is mainly a foresty kind of area. Where he stopped is kind of in a bit with more spattered trees, just so it's clear a line of sight. What he described is an area out a few miles to that you think probably an area out a few miles to the west, which is this collection of hills, and in amongst that there's a few cliffs and caves in there. And yourself, Lyndall, from being around this area, as well as Azoth, you recognize that kind of area as you you only recently did a quest for some bandits in that area as well.
But just
where I found Dolanos.
So just based on the direction that he's going, could we make an assumption that that's where he's headed? Like what we would assume?
Probably he's headed that way, yeah. He's heading in that direction.
Do I catch up?
You catch up to like
If we
Fluffy
stop, yeah.
and Lyndall. It's whether or not you guys continue now. Or
No,
not.
so yeah, so
You guys have halted?
I've stopped and I'm waiting to see what his next move is as he's standing there with his bow drawn.
He kind of lets the bow out and hops on the horse.
He was dismounted, was he?
He dismounted himself.
Oh,
and
sorry,
just mounted up
I
with
thought
a-
he
with
was
an
just
arrow.
turned around with that. Okay, rightio.
No, he
And now
turned around and
and
jumped off the horse.
on the horse, just lets an arrow fly. And it lands probably 40 meters short of you guys, just into the dirt, and then he rides off.
I mean, look, you can't move a cave.
It's true.
So if it's something we'd like to check out, we don't necessarily have to do it right now.
Hmm. I don't like that he got away. And I huff and turn my horse back towards where Amos was.
Yeah, I wish we could have, caught up to him, but I don't want to risk your life, friend. And it's not like we did a murder, right? Like, they're bandits. We were sent here on a bounty, so it's not like we need to kill the witness.
It's very true. It's not so much that,
Off to go.
though. I feel like he's going to come back. Well, I suppose we go back to Amos and grab the bloke, all the rest of all seven of them, and we trudge back toward
Be back.
my leaders. Yeah,
And in greater numbers.
yeah. Oh, good.
Good. Okay, easy. Kind of head back, a little bit annoyed that you couldn't get this this straggler that was watching on. But you kind of tie up the bodies and attach them to your horses. At this point, I think it's only like kind of the middle of the day. You'd run it. You hadn't been traveling for too long when all this happened. So you guys can choose if you want to head straight back or if you want to take a bit of a rest first. It's up to you.
I think a rest would be a good idea. Just in
to
case.
clarify, are we in between Oxus and Citrium at the moment? Or are we between Miletus and Oxus?
I don't think you'd reached Oxus.
I don't think we had either.
Okay, right. So were they traveling? They were traveling to Oxus.
They were going to Citrium.
They
They
were
weren't
going-
they weren't going to
they were
Oxford.
going further
We
south.
weren't going to
But
Oxus.
they hadn't gotten
Going past
to.
it.
We hadn't gotten
I don't
level
think
with
you'd gotten
Oxus
to
yet.
that point.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that makes
Close.
sense, I
You were
guess, if the
probably
bounty-
relatively close, but
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If the bounty's in Miletus, it would make sense if it was closer to Miletus than necessarily Oxus.
Mm.
Okay, cool.
We
Alright,
could,
then, yeah. Well, we can
yeah,
just travel back to Miletus and then take a rest there at the inn, or because
I think with this
I
bloke,
would like to say as well, as a character, it makes sense that Fluffy may have stopped after the initial chase if he has his tournament the next day, tomorrow,
mm,
and considerably you are slightly injured as well. But anyway,
well, that's hence why I'm saying we
heavily
should.
injured.
I want to take a rest before we leave, especially if he knows what's going on.
well, I think we
Well,
should.
or do you
move
want to
a
rest
little
out
bit-
here? Is that
Yeah, we
that's
wanna
the
rest
other
exactly.
question
I
too.
want to move
Yeah.
from the area that we're in and
That's
head
true too.
towards Miletus and possibly get closer to the Miletus area before necessarily taking a rest.
Yep, fair enough.
I just think that we should just kind of. I mean, how long had we been traveling for?
It's about an hour,
I think
2
it was
hours.
only. I think it was only a few hours.
I think we should just take the couple hours, head back to Miletus, and take the rest up there. And because
Okay.
then we can collect the bounty and then split the gold, and we can do whatever we want at that point.
I mean, isn't that gold going straight into our joint bank account for
Pretty
our
much.
quest?
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
Okay.
All right, let's do
Let's
it.
do that.
So
Okay.
bind the bodies
So you
and put them on the
guys-
horses.
You guys bind up all the bodies.
2-2-1.
The journey takes you a little bit longer this time. Takes you maybe about 4 hours to get back, 4 or 5 hours, because the horses can't go as fast while they're carrying so much. But you know, the journey is uneventful. You don't see any more of the archer that was in the distance.
I was going to say,
and
periodically on the way back, I'd probably be heightened just because of what it was. So I
mean,
probably
roll
would
me
be
a
looking
perception
out.
check.
Would be looking out for him just in case.
Roll me 2.
10 and
Okay.
18.
Don't notice him. You don't notice any. You see another group of merchants. They that pass you in the earlier stages of the afternoon. Kind of wander past you and see your pile of bodies on top of your horses, and you see them kind of take a wider path around you.
Wide berth.
Yeah, they give you quite a wide berth as they
Good
go
day.
around.
What you looking at? You
If-
want this to be you?
If we wanted you to be dead, it'd be happening already.
What a good catchphrase one-liner. If I wanted you to be dead, I would have killed you, but you'd be dead.
After a few hours of travel, you arrive back in Miletus. You are met with stares and some strange looks from the people, from the men at the gate, as well as the elves that you see that are hanging around the outskirts.
When we ride past them, can I say, "Hey, if we wanted you to be dead," and then I just stop.
Where am I? Like, I guess it, like, as he does that, I want to ride up next to him and like punch him off of his horse. Just,
No, I've got like two.
so,
roll me an attack to try and hit him.
Get fucked.
With
Oh,
disadvantage.
no, it's alright. It's an
He misses.
Yeah, I miss. Yeah, it's like a 9.
Oh, still, that's close enough.
So the guards recognize you and kind of knew some of them kind of knew what was going on. So say, I guess you handled that group. Head on over to the garrison and they'll help you out with that one.
Appreciate it.
So you guys head on through. At the garrison, you're met with a couple of guards outside. Not ones you recognize. A Triton holding a
Please say Triton.
trident. Yep, I was about to say. Yeah, I was trying to get it out, but I didn't want to like Triton holding a trident. And a human that's there with just like a sword and a shield. The sword's sheathed, so she's got a shield on. 6 heads, I presume. He kind of looks over at your horses. Right. Yep. Someone said that you were in looking at bounties and had settled on that. You can place them just down there, and we'll have a priest come over and take the remains. Thank you for bringing them back.
Guys, did we drop the note off from Trost about the investigation on Kahir? Did we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't you leave? You left her pendant or something, right? Like,
No, it was we left that.
You
at
showed
Trost.
that.
Trost gave us
You
a
gave
note
that
to
to
give to the garrison
Mm.
to ask about the man that was.
Oh yeah, hers.
You had,
Um,
I don't think you followed that up yet.
hers is what's his name?
Actually, no, I think you did follow it
No,
up,
I'm
and
pretty
they
sure
just,
we
they
did
just
follow
didn't go
it. Yeah,
anywhere.
it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
What was his name? I
They
wrote it
just
down.
it was an anonymous tip. They couldn't, or the man that asked you. They didn't
that's
have any
right.
information on it.
Is that the garrison right now?
Hesserus
Yep.
took a statement from a man looking for Kahir. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault.
While we're
So
there,
you take the bodies off and lay them in kind of this small courtyard that's just to the side of it, and the human kind of gestures over to the turret and he say, "Yeah, I got it," and he walks inside, and then a moment later, you see a young, maybe 13-year-old, in like light leather armor with a little like skull cap.
just imagining like Mary.
Looks like he's a little squire, and you see him run off in the direction that heads towards like the Temple of Athreos. Guard at the front is just, all right, well, head on through. I don't know who's working behind the desk at the moment. They'll help you with the coin. Kind of points on through.
Thank you. We'll head that way.
I'm gonna walk over to the board again.
So you said that boy ran towards the Temple of Athreos?
Yeah.
Which is where Elaeda is?
We don't know where Elaeda
possibly.
is.
You don't know where Elaeda is.
Oh.
It's Elaeda
She
had
said
to
she
go
was going
and-
on temple business. She didn't necessarily
Yeah.
say that she was going to spend time at the temple.
As he runs away, I say, if you see someone who looks like they may have the name Elaeda, tell her, what the fuck? Okay, bye.
You know, you just swore at a
Well, just
13-year-old.
She looks like she has
We
the
just
name
dragged in
Elaeda.
dead bodies. I think they've seen worse.
It's got a point.
word. Just like bodies.
As the guys head in, I'll go over to the job board as well and have another look.
No
See if anything's changed.
worries.
Roll the dice again. So someone want to keep track of our...
Can
Well, it's not like you just
I'll
leave
go.
for a day. It's not like you just like rock up an afternoon and come back and it's refreshed. It's pretty much exactly the same as when you
Yeah.
left it.
F5.
Okay.
F5.
Can I go grab
F5.
No.
the bounty
It's
that's...
not a video game.
Didn't you say there was like 20 things, and I've only written down 3 here, so I was going to see
Yeah,
if
yeah, I know.
what else was there. It was
Is
my
Hydra
thing.
one of them?
Thank you.
There is a Hydra there. That
Like-
we discussed the Hydra.
Like the evil organization or an animal?
Both.
Hail Hydra. Sultan.
I'll just kind of reach around Fluffy looking there, and I'll grab the bounty that
Reach around?
that describes the yeah.
So all I heard was you just gave Fluffy a reach around, and I can't think of anything.
Grab
And
the
then
booty.
grab the bounty that we just grabbed, and I'll walk up to the clerk and
No worries.
be like, "Good afternoon. It seems we've completed this bounty," and I'll slide that paper with the bounty over to him. I don't know. if somebody
Yes,
let him
I
know,
will. Yes, the Tirsus just told me you brought 7 bodies in, I believe.
Took the arrow out of that
Um,
last one and
That
grabbed
is
it. I'm sure.
correct.
And he looks at the sheet and says, yes, and the agreed upon amount was some amount of gold, which I will look up.
75 per head, I do believe, good sir.
I think it was more than
It
that.
was
So
more
the
than that.
total was 750 from what I've got here, written down here.
Yeah.
So whatever that is per head.
Oh yeah, we worked it out. We like
It's a bit
Yeah,
over
man.
7. It's a bit over 100 gold a head.
Yeah.
We'll go 100 and we'll go 105 gold a head, so it's about that.
So like
Um,
735.
Which 735.
Yeah. I just put it
So
straight
that'll be.
in the bag of holding.
Thank you very much for dealing with them. They had disrupted a lot of merchants, so the amount had gradually increased up until that amount. So thank you for dealing with that. And if there are any other things you would like to help with, it would be much appreciated. We are a little bit under. Oh, there's only so much the garrison can do when an event such as this this happens, and there are many creatures that we don't know. So, thank you.
I think most of the work we've done has been to help merchants since like day one.
Yeah, pretty much.
A lot of the things we've done.
Even inadvertently, when stuff attacked us, we helped merchants.
No one has reaped more benefits than the damn merchants.
If you would like to help someone else, there is some farmers that need help with some weird beasts that have taken up residence on their property. He points over kind of to the top right, and just a note that is just says farmer seeking help with monsters.
Farmer seeking wife.
With bear-like monsters.
FarmersOnly.com.
Just says farmer monsters.
Farmer wants a wife. Farmer wants a wife.
Farmer wants a wife. Farmer wants help with monsters.
Farmer seeking help with monsters.
What's it pay?
The monster is his ex-wife.
Yeah, monster-in-law.
240 gold.
240.
Child's play.
Yeah, I mean.
So, how much gold was in the bag when Xenon
20.
gave it to us?
20 platinum.
20 plat,
20
so
plat.
200 gold. So we're nearly at like 1k.
Almost at 1,000 gold.
A fat stack.
Yep. So
So
I
like
think we go
40
after like a
away.
big Bertha. Is there a Hydra on the board?
Yes.
How much is the Hydra worth? The 2k?
Have a look.
I think it's 2k, isn't it?
I remember 3.
No, the Typhon was 4.5.
Bargaining with the DM.
Yeah.
Nah, it was definitely 3.
I think it was 2.5 actually.
2.5 for the Hydra.
Let me bring up my calculator.
Is there anything on the board that resembles a tentacled monster that lives in a river?
I thought you were going to say under the sea.
Almost, but it was like a...
Malawi.
Yes, there is.
Ooh.
It doesn't mention a tentacled monster, but it mentions a creature blocking ease of passage to Iroas.
And we know that to be the path of...
It's a creature in New Lake on path to Iroas,
Heroes?
which is where you ran into that thing.
Is there anything that resembles on the board any mention of something, a monster or creature that possibly turns things to stone, or is in the vicinity of where we found a rabbit statue?
Right, cool.
That's interesting.
Did we bring that with us? Does somebody have that
I
in their
think,
inventory?
I think that's... Is
It's
it,
in the
did we-
bag
is
of
it in the bag of holding?
Is it?
You didn't have it. You didn't have the bag of holding
No.
at that time.
I've only got a swordfish,
Oh, I was
sword,
gonna say.
pool of lith flasks, pot shard, and sending
Must
stone
have,
in
'cause he
there.
brought it.
Just a
Yeah, he brought
Just
it
a
back to the camp, but we must have just left it at the camp.
stone rabbit surrounded in gold.
Did I just grab it? Did I?
On a bed of gold.
Like Easter, but for gold.
Yeah, do I know
So
something on the board that-
2,800 is the amount for the
The Hydra.
Hydra.
And what about the
Monster in the Lake?
monster in the lake?
The monster in the lake is at 2,200.
Whew.
It does have a warning underneath it, saying the creature just saying this creature is unknown, and there's a couple of them that say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, we know that that creature, the lake monster, took out. Was it 5 tabaxi?
Yeah.
5?
It was about that.
It was about 5. From those poor souls that we almost jumped on when they were.
It takes these tabaxis.
All right, guys. Let's just have a quick discussion about priorities for a moment before we go ahead and set off again.
But yeah, any stone turning things, monster things on the board that I see?
Yeah, no, there
Some
is
description?
small description of this small beast that has been, or this monster that's been turning things to stone in the northern forests.
Which is where we were.
Yeah.
And the price?
It's just after midday, isn't it?
I'll be
At this point,
mid-afternoon.
no, like it'd be like mid to late afternoon now that you've travelled back.
Okay. Tomorrow, Fluffy, you've got your championship bout.
Yeah, I'm going to win.
So I think we should take rest for the night for that.
Yeah.
That will take up majority of the day.
Yeah, I need to rest.
But what if we stay up all night drinking so it makes sense?
That you lost.
And honestly, you were actually hungover.
No, that doesn't work for me.
Look, and then we do have some time, so we can then possibly set out. Depending on whether we want, we can go after the bandit and follow that lead, and we can go after the guy that shot at you, if you want to do that, or we can go after any of those other beasts that we think are worth it. But for tonight, I think we should all get a long rest.
Yep.
Well,
and then decide what we want.
Is there anything we can do today? Like, I don't want to go hunting anything, but like, can we go maybe talk with someone about maybe what this ultimately is going to cost to make these shackles for an eidolon? Like, or was that something Xenon was going to do?
That's like Atlas. Atlas was going to look into that for you.
Yeah.
And he said he would get with us at the Harpy's Nest, right? Didn't he?
He said he would meet with us at the Harpy's Nest tonight. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
Done.
What? Yeah. Okay.
Well, he didn't specifically say tonight. He's like,
Yeah,
"Where are
he
you guys
just said-
staying? I'll let you know when I have information."
Oh, okay. So we probably just check in with the front desk and see. If
Yes, I'm totally down for a day for the afternoon and the evening of just kicking back and relaxing in the bar. I'd like to play some music, but
sounds
if
good.
we got some other things to do that isn't fighting monsters. We could do that in the city. Don't know
I'm always battling demons.
Don't know if you guys have something, but for now,
I would
let's.
like to go to the general store. Or actually, no. Sorry, I would like to go to. Trying to decide what to do with these drugs. Drugs.
General store probably the best way.
They might be illegal.
They probably are. Well, we could go to
Tell me,
South.
Mud.
Would you have told us about?
Would you go to the general store with like cocaine?
Freaking heroin, yeah. Would you have told us that you had this stuff, Amos?
No.
Cash converters. What can I get for this?
No, I want to go back to my room.
A brick of cocaine.
You're gonna smoke it.
It's a doorstop.
Yeah. Okay.
Amos is
piqued
gonna
his
be
interest a little bit too much.
Amos is gonna be tripping balls.
So, so everyone heading back to the Harpy's Nest?
Yeah, I'm just
anyone want to run any errands, buy anything?
No.
I know you were looking at getting something at some point there. Fluffy, I don't know if you want to do that now.
Well, nothing's happened yet, so I wouldn't have any reason to.
Fair enough, I guess. Yep. I forgot that was why that was happening.
Counseling. No.
Easy. So you head back to the Harpy's Nest. Kind of beat the end of day. You walk in through the door. There's the smell of meat. I see your face, Azoth. I'm trying to ignore it. Behind the counter, you see...
You can try.
the lovely, pretty face of Hera.
Hey!
And the smell of some food or some stew that might be cooking and being prepared in kind of in the kitchen. and then just kind of the general musk of, some stale alcohol that's been spilled on the floor, kind of litters the room. Fireplace going off in the side. No one playing. No bard around it yet, as there's only a couple patrons in at the moment. What's the go?
Yeah, I want to go up to, I guess, Hera and ask if they've got someone scheduled for tonight as far as entertainment goes.
Well, I believe we were just taking the whoever was coming first. So,
well,
if you want
I
to
would
play,
like, yeah, I would love to, if that's okay.
Floor's yours for tonight.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll since I'm assuming that I'm pretty nasty and dirty I'll go. There's there a washroom or a place to clean up or something?
Yeah.
Is there a bathhouse in the?
There's a bathhouse nearby. So not in the place, but a couple places over is a bathhouse that I haven't actually said, but I'm assuming you guys have used a couple of times. When you haven't just prestidigitation into yourself to betterness.
I think Fluffy, knowing what's going on tomorrow, and being a little bit sore and everything from our battles with the bandits, I'm going to head over there and give myself a nice bath and massage if they do the same. If they do that to get ready for the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Easy. You guys go over, and it'll cost you 1 silver just for the bath,
yep.
2 silver for, and then 2 silver on top of that for a massage.
All right, cool. No worries.
Just the bath for me.
No worries. So mark the gold respectively.
Cool.
I believe a certain Amos is going upstairs on his own.
Yeah, before I get any freaky, I want to. Can I pull out my 10? So I'm going to pull out of my bag some feathers.
Okay.
That have a bit of a shine to them.
Okay. Yeah.
They are the starry harpy feathers.
Yeah.
Do I know much about those feathers?
No.
No, nothing at all.
You've not looked into them at all. You have no idea.
Well, it only just kind of piqued my interest just then. Can I take my dagger out and try and split one of the feathers?
Yeah. It's hard to split. Do you want to do that?
I want to see if I can split it and to see if it holds its magical kind of starry.
So you pull your knife out, and as you try to poke it, it's difficult. It takes you a fair bit of effort to actually cut through. Whether as most feathers you just be able to slice through. This takes a decent amount of effort, but you do manage to get there. And as you peel it across, it still seems to hold this. Still manages to hold its kind of this starry guise on the fletching.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna do that to one more, and then I'm gonna see if I can remove the other just standard feathers on an arrow, and just kind of replace them with the harpy ones.
Sure. Roll me. Do you have a Fletcher's kit or anything?
No,
I don't think you would.
I have a thieves' tools, musical instrument, disguise, and forgery.
I think a Fletcher's kit is an actual item that you would probably need in order to do this. It's got the glue, the strands and stuff that you would need to tie it on. You could probably make do, but you wouldn't do a good job of it.
That's okay.
You could go and buy some Fletcher's tools if you wanted.
I'm gonna leave the stuff I've got in the room, lock the room, and head to the general store to get the Fletcher's kit.
1 gold for a Fletcher's kit.
Yeah, cool. And then head back to the.
No worries. You do that. You strip off the old feathers and you put on these new ones. And they're quite these nice, elegant feathers, and they look quite quite pristine, being these black kind of starry feathers on the back of the arrow.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. And then I'll just hold that one arrow and just mark it with something from the Fletcher's kit or any one of my kits just to know the difference, like on a tip or an end or anything like that?
You can. I mean, your arrows. Most of your arrows have like a standard feather. It is very obvious that this arrow is different.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like from the fletching alone is just like it stands out night and day.
Sweet. I'll just put it back in and then just who knows what happens on.
Okay. Let me know if you ever use it. Okay.
Yeah. And now we're gonna pull out the drugs.
Okay. Do you have a pipe or anything?
Does he have a pipe, like an ice pipe?
It's been a while since Amos has got a little bit rowdy. I do have a thieves tools kit. I don't know if that's gonna have anything requireable in there.
You've having like been around kind of the underground side of things a long time ago, but having been around there, you know that when it's in this state, it's burnt like a leaf tip, like instead of tobacco. So you would need some way to burn it. You could probably get something that you could use, or you could find yourself a pipe that you could just probably get from somewhere.
I'll just hold on to it for now, and I'll come back to it later, I think.
No worries. I mean, you can just try to eat it if you want, but you don't know the side effects.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I did think about that. I was like, Amos probably knows that that's probably a risky move, so I'm just going to leave it for now and just kind of just relax, sit back in the room and just.
Some people say it gives you schizophrenia.
Yeah, no. But I'm just gonna
no worries.
lay back and just rest while the other.
Azoth, you want to do anything? No, you just. I mean, Herazeth were on the team, and the most awkward when it comes to this. It's my favorite thing.
Good evening, Hera.
It's afternoon, dickhead.
How's business?
Oh, it's been quite quiet today, but steady, I guess.
You've been well?
I mean, with all things considered, I can't complain. Business is still going, and, well, my house wasn't ripped in half, so all's good.
Well, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. I'd very much like a mug of mead, if I may be so bold. Thank you.
Goes over with that, grabs a like a mug, and pours it out, puts it up on the bar for you.
It's funny. I was out today, with my companions, and we were helping the community as we do a lot these days. The merchants do really. Anyway, I found something that reminded me of you. Actually, is it okay if I give it to you? I reach into.
Please tell me it's
without waiting for an answer.
One of their ads.
I reach into my pocket, and with like a closed fist, I kind of like offer it, or kind of like offer it to Hera, and you can kind of see little tiny bits of light coming out like through my knuckles, kind of a thing. I found this today, and well, I mean, much like the thought of you, and I open my hand, and it's a coin that's like emitting quite a bright light. It seemed to brighten up my day. I'd like you to have it.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah.
Charisma check. I'm not even going to say it's persuasion. Casting light, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Thank you. Where's my charisma again? Oh yeah, very high. That is a 27.
Whoa!
No. Sorry. No, I'm reading the wrong thing. 23.
Still bloody good.
Damn.
Natural 19.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
It was a 19
Nice.
and a 5.
Awesome.
Thank God for advantage.
You just see her blush. She's just like, thank you, Azoth. That's much nicer than most of the things that are said around here. Takes it.
As she takes it, the light starts to dim, and it's a platinum.
You.
Winner.
Wow.
As she grabs it, she's like, I think you gave me the wrong.
I'm
What?
already walking away.
Cool guys don't look.
Breakfast clubs.
Yeah, I just mix. I just like mashes this. Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
I'm done.
Wow.
After about 30 minutes, I'd say, Lyndall returns from having his bath.
Wait, before we get back,
Okay.
what's our bathhouse situation? Is it like a big public pool that's warm? Is it individual?
No, so
bathrooms,
it's like separate, like they're.
I'm all hanging out.
It's for ancient Greek. No, it's a big pool for ancient Greek. We're all pretty open here.
We're all hanging. I'm hanging out.
We would have been in the same room while we were bathing, right?
In the
There's a men's and
schwitz.
a women's. So you guys would be together.
While we're in there,
There are private baths that you can pay for, but I'm assuming you guys didn't.
I didn't. Fluffy, did you?
No.
So obviously we're not like huddled up next to each other, but we're in the same room. We can talk. So I'll go. Fluffy, we've been doing a lot of stuff together, right? We've been hanging out, and we've been experiencing some crazy stuff. A lot of it having to do with the involvement of the gods, and I've been thinking a lot about that. And I guess, I feel like you guys know a lot about how I feel about gods, and I feel like you're with what we've seen and your actions and where you get some of your your power and your mighty axe and your cloak is you're aligned with a particular god, are you not?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
Yeah, is that something you're born into, or something that you've chosen?
To be honest, I don't actually know. I, from a very young age, it's sort of all it's what I've grown up with. So, I guess, yeah, from my experience, yes, it's something that I've been fortunate. But then again, I've never seen another Leonin that looks like me.
Yeah.
I've not seen all that many Leonin full stop.
Oh, really? So you weren't raised in the pact with the rest of
I was raised by Amos and the temple of Iroas, and that's sort of where, and that's how Amos and I know each other, because and that's why I jokingly call him Dad every now and again, is because he's sort of raised me. I owe a lot to that man.
So from a young child, you've known Amos. Then.
Yes. Yep. Correct.
Oh, that's really
yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't realize you went that far back.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So
I just kind of imagined you being like a young man, like a teenager or older, maybe.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I've he's raised me from as little as I remember. He may be able to tell you more, but that's all I know. But certainly, for me, and the Iroas has given me lots of opportunity. So I certainly don't. I'm not fully, I guess, on the same page as you are with the questioning sort of side of things. Because for me, So I've always had a very clear path forward.
Yeah. Were you meant to be an oracle or a champion of the god Aroas, or is it?
I think. I think maybe they wanted me eventually to be a champion, but I'm not. You'd have to ask them.
That's something that, for sure.
It's not something. DM question: is that something that I would aspire to be?
Probably.
Okay.
Knowing what you've been raised through, and the level of like patronage to like glory and victory type stuff.
Yeah.
You would probably relish the idea of becoming a champion.
Okay.
And being like immortalized forever, like a killing style, like that. You decide whether or not your personality leans into that.
Yeah.
But, like, that would be the kind of things that would have been spoken about as you were training and growing up.
Yeah. I think certainly being a champion appeals to me. I mean, being the competitive beast, for lack of a better word, that I am, I certainly, I would relish the champion status and title.
It would be an incredible thing.
That would be that would be really cool.
I mean, just think of the champions of our history. You know, their names are known forever, right?
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, hey, if we win tomorrow, I'll be known for a very long time too. So, I mean,
it's all relative, though. I mean,
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you feel?
This hurts so bad.
Do you feel like your gifts?
You're making me nervous.
Do you feel like? Okay, so I have one last question, and I'll stop. No,
please ask away.
With what we're experiencing now, do you feel any difference within yourself that the gods are further away from us now?
I think.
Do you personally feel any different?
Not at the moment, no. I feel like when we woke up that next morning after what we had seen, and I was concerned, but having used my axe, and it doesn't feel any different, and I feel like a lot of it's where I'm getting my ability, like it helps like my I guess channel my ability through the axe, and I feel like I'm still doing what I'm able to do. So no, for me, I don't feel any further away at the moment. However, it does feel a little weird not to look up.
It's probably different because it's a gift you've been given. It's not necessarily a daily thing that somebody's intervening on your life.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm probably the wrong person to ask. No, that's fine. No, like I said,
questions are a bit intrusive. I have a very curious mind, and I would like to know more about our companions.
No, I appreciate
when it. Comes to like the way we believe. So.
I mean, we've been traveling for a couple of weeks together now. We have spent some time. We've almost died a couple of times, so I feel like we know each other pretty well. I guess I think it has. Is it been a couple of weeks? That's about right, isn't it? Yeah. I guess like you seem like you've obviously got your mum, and you've got this enormous house. Your parents have this enormous house. Your dad is the leader of the 12. Forgive me, but where did it go wrong? I guess not. Where did it go wrong is the wrong question, but you know.
No, I kind of get what you're asking. I couldn't point you to a specific time or a specific place. It was more of a, I think, as I grew older, and I don't think I've told you, but on my mother's side, my grandfather and I were very close, like very close. And in a lot of ways, things how he felt and how he believed, as I grew up and grew into being a young man, they made a lot more sense to me and how the world really works and how our interactions with the gods work and how all that, it just made a whole lot more sense to me in the way that he perceived things. And maybe it was because I share part of his his lineage, that we have that part in our spirit too, So I learned a lot from him, and obviously, how son-in-laws go, fare with the parents of their bride. They don't always get along, and my dad is very, very stubborn, which my mom tells me I get that from him. So I get the stubbornness from my dad, but they butted heads a lot and did not get along. So I don't know. It just made it a little easier to be argumentative with my parents about that. And the more that I thought about it, the more, our beliefs crossed wires, and just didn't match up. So.
Well, I mean, what I would say, I guess, be thankful that you have parents that love you and care for you. I don't know mine, so
yeah, I hope I don't come across as insensitive to that.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. We're much too close. We're naked next to each other, my friend. We're fine. Like it's all out on the table here.
That is. Wait, you have it on a
literally. Yeah, I'm sprawled.
You're not getting the massage yet. Calm down.
No. You're fine. I wanted to.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate your insight when it comes to that, because I know that not everybody's situation is.
You're not there, Azel.
I think that's exactly my point, right? Is that being raised in the black and white world, you tend to grow up to realize that it's mostly gray.
It's even more grey when you're around Amos.
But on the long lines of what you were saying, one day you said you aspire to be a champion, but to your boy Lendl, you're already a champion, and you will always be a champion, my dude.
Aww. Fluffy doesn't really know what to say to that. I say that out loud. I'm trying to compute like that really nice thing that Linda's just said.
It's like a full Scrubs moment.
Yeah.
Scruffy doesn't know.
Yeah, just introspectively just start having an inner monologue.
No, Linda,
Scruffy doesn't know how to process this information.
No, Linda, I very much appreciate your friendship, and even though you may not believe in the gods or whatever they're doing in the plan that there is there, I believe in you, and I think we're going to do some really cool things together.
We already have, bro.
Wow.
We're just going to keep doing them.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to win tomorrow, and I'm going to bet all of my...
Oh, God.
Can we just cut to the next day so we can tell everybody?
Not lose in the first round.
I mean, they know.
Yeah, I know everyone knows.
Right,
my goodness.
I'm good. I could sit there in the bath with Fluffy all day and talk about.
Easy. About a half an
whatever,
hour
but-
passes, the bath, and then Fluffy goes off for his massage. And Lyndall, you get your chance to come back, and by this point, a few more people have arrived.
Yeah.
Starting to get some drinks. You can head over to the fireplace and start performing if you'd like.
I would love to.
Wonderful. Head over there and roll me a performance check,
Oh,
please.
Amos is going to come down for the show and cheer from the back corner.
No
Oh!
worries.
His assistance.
Are you high?
No.
Is that in that
Can I-
one?
No, but it is a 2.
No.
But I have a plus 10, so that's 12.
It's still pretty good.
It's not-
It's a good.
Not
It's a good
bad.
start.
Mhm.
You get off to you don't get off to a great start. People kind of aren't listening too much. They're, chatting about their day and they don't seem too enthralled by it. If you want to roll another check to, get liven the performance up, you're more than welcome to. What are you doing, by the way? Are you playing your sackbut? Are you telling a story?
I'll start off
telling
with.
Are you telling the exploits of the six heads?
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say is I'll start off with with kind of not just telling the story. I would think that Lyndall over the past several weeks has been. I know I've mentioned it a couple times. He sits down and starts telling, making notes in his book. But what you didn't see is he's been kind of like writing a line, scratching out a line, writing a new line, a few lines, and putting a few lines together. And he's kind of written it's like a poem, but in story form. Like, I don't remember what they're called in literature, but it's a thing. And if I, Justin, was smart enough, I would know this, but Lyndall would know. It's a story. It's a poem in story form. And basically it's just kind of the tales of the six heads. It's kind of what we've done up to this point, and it's just not very long, but obviously very thought out is kind of what I would start off with. And maybe why it's only a 2 is because it feels a bit unfinished. Like there's not much of a conclusion to it. It just kind of stops because we still have story to tell.
Yeah. Would you like me to Would you like to roll another performance check to continue on your performance playing?
Yeah.
are you
So as I wrapped up the poem, I'll grab the sack butt and start to play
No
some
worries.
music.
Roll me another check.
Ooh, 18 for a 28.
Oh, that gets people. For some reason, the sack butt it just gets people.
It's got the right
And
amount of toot to it.
It's something about this new creation that was given to you, very like here in Miletus itself. People just love new things when it comes to music, and every time you pull it out, people's heads start turning. Tonight is no different. Performance you play, and people were talking about what they were doing. Most people stop, and they just start to listen. And you see even a couple of, there's a couple of young families in there, a couple of kids start dancing around in front of you and just enjoying themselves amongst everything.
I'm going to grab, kind of mid-performance, I'm going to grab a bowl that's sitting on the bar that would have, like, mostly eaten nuts or something and kind of, like, spill them onto the bar and set it down on the floor in front of me, knowing that we need to make some extra money. See,
Okay,
normally I wouldn't because, obviously I don't need money as being Lyndall. But I want to make a little extra money and feel like I'm contributing, so I want to put a
You
tip
get
jar
a
down.
few spatterings of like copper pieces and like maybe a silver piece. So you maybe get like 10 copper and a silver. These people are pretty these are simple people.
Yeah,
they
poor,
don't
yeah.
have gold to throw around. Performances go well.
Do I hear it
the
as I'm
evening
walking
meal-
back in?
Yeah, I think.
Like
I
I'll
think
just
performance
just
probably
do
should
like a
go.
little like dance jig as I'm walking up the street and listening
jig?
to like Lyndall like
No
rock
worries.
out.
into
Like
the-
I'm just like
Just vibing.
yeah.
The rest of the evening passes on relatively uneventfully. The meal is this nice hearty stew that's served with like this like sourdough style bread. Nice and filling, nothing too crazy. The tavern gets quite busy, and you're noticing now there's a couple more elves around the area than there were. And it's like you probably noticed walking around at the end of the day that there's starting to be more in and around the city.
Like we would assume that like the borders they've like loosened their restrictions, like
Seems
or like
like
more
it,
people are
maybe.
sneaking over. They're not like sneaking around.
They're not sneaking around. These people are just walking around.
Yeah.
They just sort of
And,
become more comfortable.
Maybe it's just more comfortable. You don't know if there was ever a like strict border enforcement. I don't think you guys ever asked that. But people they're a little more comfortable. People aren't eyeing them off as much anymore. It's only been a couple of days, but people's curiosities have quite quickly alleviated often. So there's a table that has a couple of them kind of sitting there, and they're just listening to your music. Having never seen this instrument before, they look at you quite curiously as you play. But yeah, the rest of the night kind of goes on. Are you just going to keep playing for most of the night, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think as it gets later, I would have spent a lot of time in like maybe not till close, but like pretty long. But I don't want to play all night. I want to stop and kind of mingle. I assume the rest of us are down and have a table, or
yeah, I think the others are just
Fluffy would have
sitting
gone to
around a
bed
table.
early.
Oh, Fluffy's gone to bed. Okay. Fluffy's had an early night. No drinks for him tonight.
Yeah, no.
okay.
Azoth, are you just sitting around having a drink, still with your back to Hera because you're trying to still be cool?
I can't. Yeah,
Playing hard
I
to
can't.
get.
I am
Or have you just left? You've just straight up
consciously
walked out.
making the decision to like not even like make eye contact after this point. Like it needs to be. Yeah, I can't give myself another chance to fuck it up. So it's like I had the one drink, looked over, I thought maybe I could try to get another drink from someone else, but she was always around. So I'm like, oh, fuck it, and probably just went to bed after a little while.
Okay. So I think Amos, what are you doing? You down listening to music?
After Linda's performance, Amos went back up to the room.
So everyone's kind of petered off. What are you going to do, Lyndall? You're just going to...
I want to go to the table with the elves and talk to them for a second.
Okay.
Yep.
You head over to them, and they're sitting there drinking. As most people are drinking mead, they're drinking wine. Sitting there around the table. And they look at you and just.
Good evening, neighbors.
It does appear to be that now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Evening. That was quite a wonderful performance. What were you playing on?
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed. It's called a sackbut. It's a wind instrument that my grandfather gave me.
Wow. Are these a common thing around your?
Oh no.
Among your people.
This is not. This is an extremely rare instrument. It's actually one that is kind of in like prototype. It's not even actually. Well, this one is. I imagine by now they've probably fleshed out all the quirks because it's not always perfect. But yeah, I got kind of like a prototype version of the instrument. So pretty neat though, huh?
Yeah. May I have a look?
Sure. I'll let him eye it over.
He looks at it and he kind of like starts to like fiddle around with the mechanics of it. Plays with a lever that's like the drip tube and like a bunch of useful saliva.
Yeah. That'll happen. Kind of blow a little bit hard into it.
Yeah, that's something. Get that in you.
Yeah, that's wind instruments are funny like that.
Mm.
I'm more of a string gentleman myself.
Oh.
And he kind of taps back behind him, and you actually see a case for what looks like a lute behind him.
Very nice.
He says, I was hoping to play, but I arrived too late. But it was a wonderful performance.
Well, I appreciate the high praise. You can have tomorrow night, and I would love to hear you play and see you perform if you promise to be here.
I will do my best. It was
Nice.
the plan. This has been quite the fun excursion for us to come, and the other kind of elves all kind of raise their glasses at it. And you look at them, and I should probably describe what kind of elves.
Yep.
They are there is a mix of of what you can kind of distinguish as two different styles. One is this kind of pale skin with very large ears. What I have shown before is the pallid elves.
Yep.
The image of that, and that is the one that you're currently speaking to, and two of the others there. So there's 5 at the table, so 3 of them are that, and the other 2 are these. They've both got kind of this brown hair, with like this more kind of tanned tone to them, and they're wearing mostly like greens. And that kind of style.
I'll reach back behind me and grab an empty chair and kind of like do the whole spin it around in front of me with the back in front and sit down on it, straddling the chair, and just be like, I know things are like crazy right now for you guys. I mean, it's a little bit crazy for us too, but you guys have like traveled across planes. What's that like? And we don't have to keep the dialogue, but that's kind of like, I mean, you can go as far as you want,
no
but
worries.
That's kind of like me just having a conversation with them, and it leads into the night. So
no worries.
I'll sit there and talk with them until
night leads on for a while. Eventually, you feel yourself starting to get tired. They don't seem to be tiring at all.
Yeah. My intention is to learn as much as I can about them because I'm curious about their culture and stuff. So
you have a chat about their culture. You find out that they call themselves pallid elves. The others are wood elves. And you learn about the various other elves. You are now the first within the party to know the different races that live within the city, being dark elves, pallid elves, wood elves, high elves, and sea elves.
Sea elves?
Yes.
So oh, that's cool.
There are various shadow elves of the Shadowfell as well, but much less. But most of them hang around with the dark elves. So you have a conversation with them. I'll fill you in with some more stuff later on, if you like. But for now we'll continue on. The night passes, and the morning arises. Tis a big morning. We'll breeze through it nice and quick.
Thank you.
You all kind of follow along after getting up for breakfast, and Fluffy is hyped for the fight, but very focused. And after a good breakfast, you all head off over to the arena, which is very busy.
We're all doing nothing but praising him and like hype beasting him up. Like we're just hype manning him up.
It is hype man galore. You guys arrive about a good few hours before the fights are meant to start, a couple hours before the fights are meant to start, and Fluffy is is sent off to where the other combatants are, and you are shown to a particular wing of the arena, where you can sit and watch with what you recognize as some of the entourages for some of the other combatants. After a few hours, after a couple of hours, so the fights begin. The first battle that you watch is between Ignar, who was the human hoplite-looking styled guy, who was the only one known to not favor the gods. Him fighting along with a small satyr rogue-looking fella. And in their first battle, they are up against, I believe it was where are we? They were up against a warlock and a fighter, and they win very quickly. Ignar runs into the middle of the fight, and it's over within a matter of like 20 seconds. He just runs in, and the warlock drops in a quick succession of about 3 or 4 strikes, with one of them like piercing like straight through his armor, and then the fighter almost takes down the rogue before he drops himself. The next battle is Fluffy's battle, fighting alongside the Leonin. Comes out and faces off against Farsus and a large barbarian.
Cestus.
A valiant fight has had Cestus.
Yeah.
Then I've got my names wrong the wrong way. Yeah.
With Cestus.
Fighting off against Cestus and a barbarian, and the fight goes. Unfortunately, the other Leonin can't manage to land the strikes properly and goes down relatively quick, and it ends up being a smash fight between the two. Slogfest between the two barbarians, in which the other barbarian comes out on top as Fluffy falls. Unfortunately, out in the first round.
Can we make? Is there a way that we knew like they would take the fighters after they've lost, that we could meet them down there, or could we try? I don't know if the group would want to go with, but I kind of like to go down there and be with Fluffy.
You can try to find a place, and you if you want. Is anyone else going to go, or are you guys going to stay and watch?
No, I'm just
So, what time of day is it already?
It's
midday
like
now?
around midday, yeah.
So we've got the rest of the day. I'll go with Lyndall.
Okay. You go and you find him. And there's just some healers with him, and you're probably almost back up to like half health. They've kind of helped you out and stitched you up, tended to your wounds. And they say, well, go and enjoy the rest of the festival, and please come back down at the end of the finals, and we can celebrate all the combatants for coming out today.
Fluffy, that was incredibly close, man.
Oh, yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
I thought you had him, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't see hit points or anything, but like it looked very close.
Yeah, I'm really mad. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to come down. I knew you. This would be very disappointing for you.
So
that's why Amos didn't go down.
I'm pissed.
So I know it's not going to be worth anything, but just for flavor, I guess with my kind words, I want to give you bardic inspiration just to like try to cheer you up, you know?
Nice.
I appreciate it.
You head back up and watch the ensuing fights. The rest of the first round goes along with Farsus and the Ranger beating their combatants, and Deratanos and the large Minotaur, Deratanos, and his wizard combatant beating theirs. Going into the second round, which is fought just after the it is Ignar and the Rogue up against Cestus, and then Farsus up against Deratanos. Ignar.
Come on, beat him.
Nah, Cestus gonna freaking win.
Ignar comes blistering out, and within the first, and Cestus only has enough time to get one spell off before he drops.
I'm an Ignar fan. I'm like cheering like crazy right now. Like big fan. Let's go!
And then after a bit of a slogfest between the barbarian trying to get through and blocking strikes with the shield, him and the rogue managed to beat down the barbarian, and they win the second round.
Wow.
Deratanos.
Is this the large Minotaur?
Yeah.
This is the large Minotaur.
Jerk.
In a fight against Farsus and a Ranger, comes out from a corner and in one move he digs his horn into the Ranger, pinning them against the wall.
Yowza.
And then brings up his sword and drives it in in the single attack there, the ranger falls.
Ooh,
Sounds like something a ranger would do.
that's a chunky boy.
Not long after, Farsus does fall as well to the as he fights the wizard. Coming up to the finals. It is Ignar versus Deratanos. They walk out onto the field, and Ignar hasn't really you notice that a lot of the other combatants come out and they'll raise up a token to the gods or something as they go. Ignar just stands there. Like at the start of every battle, he doesn't do anything. His combatant is, but he just his the person he's fighting with does. But he just stands there. This battle starts off, and it starts off a little bit hairy. The wizard gets off a really large spell, and the rogue seems to take a decent brunt of the damage. And it's not long that Deratanos manages to catch up to him and take him down. And before long, it is
1v2 Ignar versus 2 of them.
Ignar versus 2 of them. Deratanos.
Yes, Ignar.
Leaving his spear inside Deratanos, picked up Ignar's great sword and went and defeated the wizard.
Awesome.
And I cheered and then was like, "Yo, Fluffy, do you know this Ignar, or do you just know of him?" Is kind of where.
And then we realized you were not there anymore.
You were just sitting there like
you like this.
Yeah.
You're sitting like this, and you're like, "Oh, he's just moping around."
Yeah, it was
He's just
just
chilling.
went black. No, I don't know. I don't know any of these guys. I know of them,
okay.
but I don't know them personally.
Okay.
Fluffy,
Cool.
what's the prizing for winning a champion bout?
To be honest, this is my first Champions League. They would have told us in the thing, wouldn't they? Did they tell us in the?
They haven't.
No, I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't ask.
$500 or 500 gold a person.
Yeah, I can imagine it's going to be pretty big.
Buy-in.
There was
right?
at least 16. Was there 16 people?
Yep.
Yeah, so 16.
Keep in mind, some of that is fees.
Yeah. So even if it's
Expensive
half
to resurrect.
I'd say
It's expensive to resurrect someone.
I'd say 5k for the winner would be a fair assumption.
Well, I guess there's about to be an announcement or something.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, we'll find out in a sec, won't we?
So there's a man comes out that has kind of been emceeing the event. He says, "Can all the fighters please come back down to the battleground?" Some of the ones come out of there.
Nudging you down.
Fluffy gets up, jumps over the wall, and lands. I'm going to imagine that he does.
Yeah,
because he's just got style points like that.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. We all head out, and there is the whole group. They're in front of everyone. He says, "Thank you to all the competitors in the tournament today. I will wait until they are all here." Yes, wonderful.
I was listening.
Yes.
Obviously, this is trying times at the moment, but the battles must always continue for the Champions League. Now, our runner-ups this evening being Farsus and Sarah Lanos. Sorry, no, it wasn't. Runner-ups were Deratanos. Sorry, Deratanos and.
The MC messed up the name.
Yeah. I went to the wrong one. The MC's just like, "Oh, sorry, my bad. I was
Apologies.
like this." He's just getting like, Deratanos is just like, Deratanos and Ithalan. Congratulations. Here is your the runner-up prize of 1,500 gold.
Each?
750 each. As for our champions, points up to Igna and Cilias.
Let's be honest. It was all Ignar.
Yeah.
Cilius is the name.
Cilias and Igna.
Cilius.
Silly ass.
Cilias.
Cilius. It's
Can we
just
get
when I
drug
extend it, it
test?
sounds terrible.
Cilias!
Cilius.
Doping.
With a prize of 7,000 gold for the champion.
Wow.
Points towards the end of your champions. And just as he's about to continue, Ignar just slams his spear on the ground and just makes like a massive noise. Hear me!
Jesus.
Is Ignar
All
human, right?
these champions. This champion. You all claim the gods help you, and you cannot
Whoa.
best me. The gods aren't here anymore. It is just me. I am the greatest warrior on this earth. And no one can best me even with their gods.
What earth?
What'd you
Azoth?
say?
What earth?
You
Azoth.
said.
Azoth. It's at this point you go black. You from here you don't know anything. Sitting next to him, Lyndall and Amos, you see Azoth's eyes roll back and they start glowing this bright white. He stands up and walks forward. And this booming voice echoes out of him. Not all the gods are further than you think.
No
No.
friggin' way!
Whoa!
Some of us can still hear you fine. Maybe you should be reminded. And Azoth reaches up and you see this beam of light shoot to the sky. And then out of the sky, this giant sunbeam comes down and just hits Ignar. And he just buckles under the weight and ends up on his knees. And then just ends up like splayed out. And you can just hear him scream.
He's alive though?
The
Currently.
sunbeam stops and he still seems to be alive.
So like I would have like if he got up and started walking, I would have like partially got up, like I don't know, like he was being possessed or something. I was worried about him, so like I got up and like kind of like chased after him for a second, and then
Yeah.
as soon as he starts
You-
talking,
as
I'm
soon as
like
you try to get
stumbling
close,
back, like I'm
it seems
yeah.
like everyone gets knocked away. Like as
Oh,
soon as
okay,
he
yeah.
starts speaking, like there is this
I
force
feel
that
the
emanates
light.
from him.
Oh my goodness. I don't. What are we doing? Like, I mean.
Wait,
There's
So
am I still just-
like the
What's
the
Azoth's
sunbeam.
voice
Your
again?
hand comes down and the sunbeam stops.
Elaeda.
I am closer than ever, Ignar. The gods are not things you can conquer. And with that, you see like Azoth's posture change and his eyes kind of go back to normal. And Azoth, you just kind of you all of a sudden you just kind of went, and then like you just felt like you were out of control of your body, but you know what just happened, but it feels like it was a dream, but you're just standing up at the edge of the wall,
So
and everyone is just staring at you.
is Ignar now like a pile of ash on the floor?
Ignat's still alive.
Okay.
He's just this smoldering ruin of a person on the floor.
That.
Amos, go and
Best
grab
way
that
to
gold.
say
So
He's-
cool!
Hazel, what the hell?
It's been so long.
It's not working.
It's not.
Most
No,
of the
you
people
turned it
around,
up.
most of the people around you are getting on their knees. By the way,
Oh yes.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over to Azoth and just grab him and start dragging him away, like
Yeah, I was
away
knocked on my
from.
back.
Here you go. Let's go.
Yeah, I was
No,
knocked on my back, and I was like crawling away, like.
Thanks for having us, guys. Thanks for having us. Thank you. Yep, appreciate it.
Azor's head just went from this to like this.
go Azoth, do it.
I cast fly and start levitating.
I'm still dragging him like a balloon, like like a balloon.
Get off.
Let me have this, please.
Someone take a picture.
What's a picture?
You weren't aware that this happened. You have no idea what had just happened.
No, he saw it. No, yeah.
He experienced it like a dream. So he
Oh,
went
okay,
back
okay.
and then like he was like in his mind but had no control, and it happened like a dream. But he
No, I
he
must
had
have missed
no presence over what was happening. Just it was like
Oh, okay.
Are there any like guards around or like?
Yeah, are
there's-
they like reacting?
Yeah,
to
are they converging or what's the go? Like what's happening?
people looks terrified.
Right.
Even like guards are like as you get closer to like the exit and where there are guards, they are like moving out of the way.
I kind of look at one of them and just go. Put my hand.
He like reflexively puts up his shield and just like cowers.
This is going to be fun.
Azor's dark arc.
We're going to have a conversation around what just happened, but not here. Amos, Lyndall, get him out of here now.
Yeah, we're pushing him. We're like trying to move him.
And
Get out.
Still floating. I'm just
Move it along.
right.
I'm going to go back and have a
Just
quick
letting
chat.
him take you though.
Are there people going out to assist Ignar, like healers or?
There are like priests and stuff
Yep.
going out now. Not many, mind you. Not as many as there probably were.
Fair enough, too.
That were there.
But
Keep
there
in
are
mind that
people
most
going.
but there are people that are going.
Okay,
to
okay.
I'm just gonna go back before like following my friends. Just have a quick conversation with Silverpaw,
Yeah, the one that we had earlier.
the one that we had earlier, and then I'm back with everyone else.
No worries.
How long would that take? Do we need to like say we're gonna meet up
5
somewhere?
minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay. We're
Like
just chilling
10
outside.
minutes.
You
10
guys
minutes.
are just like heading back, like you guys are just pushing Azoth back to
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
assuming he
Harpy's
stopped
nest.
flying and is now just walking again. Is off his
No,
head.
how long does fly last for?
He's
I'm
is,
gonna-
is he rolling around because his head's that big, or
Can I-
last for?
10 minutes. No, he's still flying.
Okay.
Spell magic.
he's probably so he's probably just coming down as I get back.
He stopped
Just-
flying.
Dispel magic. Yeah.
Oh.
Come down here. Yeah.
He casts dispel magic, and your spell just kind of stops.
You're drawing too much attention. This is not the probably the greatest time to be to drawing attention in this way.
Azoth, what was that?
I look honestly. I want to say it was me, and but I really don't know.
You almost melted the champion by yourself.
Did you?
I think you've got
Is
some
that the first
explaining
time?
to do.
Is that the first
One at a
time
time,
you
please.
ever
One at a
done that?
time. Wait, I'll put my hands down. Sorry.
Can we get
I'm a
someone
weapon.
that's not
I'm
out
a
and-
weapon.
like get off the street before we get too crazy? Talking aloud about this.
I think we need to go to a room.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Harpy's Nest or just out of the city or wherever, go on a walkabout.
Yeah,
You guys
I mean,
can just can go for a walk or go to your room. That's up to you.
It's midday, you said.
At this point, at the end of all the battles, it's like late afternoon. It was midday,
Late
when it was his, so it's like late afternoon, evening now.
Right. Okay.
Should we maybe consult a temple?
Yeah.
I think that would be
Probably a good
wise.
idea.
Yeah. I think we should take a trip to your temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's take him there. Do you feel like normal? Like, are you feeling like
Yeah, you tired?
hurt
Did
or exhausted, or
Are you,
like,
are you
I've
hot?
got, like pins and needles in my fingers. It's,
That's all. Do you
Strange,
realize?
yes,
Do you
yes.
actually know what you did?
my eyes kind of hurt as well. Like I
Like,
don't usually. It's
a little bit
strange. My
dry, like
what?
ocular-
welder's burned?
What did you see happen?
Well, I suppose you'll have to confirm as to whether this actually did happen, but I kind of I saw myself like get up and start walking, but in my head I was like, I didn't want to start walking, and people were staring at me, and there was like loud noise, and then a really bright light, and then I kind of came to.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
It was
So
pretty
I-
cool. I'm also kind of terrified, but also angry that you're now stronger than me, because there's like only I can assume is a god inside you. Are you Heliod?
Not that I know of. I mean, I nearly fucking died to a couple of assassins.
You just summoned
wasn't-
the sun and
It wasn't a
almost
day ago that I was in
melted
a
him.
dress.
You.
Do you think if I was a god, I would need you?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not going to. When we get to this temple, we're going to have to cut your head in half. It's too big to get through the door.
Oh, they're pretty big double
Mm.
doors.
Yeah, it explains how big your head is.
Well, no.
That's
To the best of my knowledge, no, I am not a god.
Wow.
Have I ever done that? No. The coolest thing I've done in the past couple of days was make a coin really bright.
Have you ever felt like the gods speaking or acting through you, even if it was a more subtle, smaller thing?
I mean, maybe. I mean, look, we all had that like vision a couple of weeks ago, and that felt pretty godlike. That was honestly, that was probably the most direct message, connection, whatever you want to call it, connection to the gods, kind of a thing. Have I ever had a one-on-one shoot the shit with one of the gods? No, definitely not. This is pretty, you know.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
it probably, Lyndall, it certainly, I guess, brings to light that they're still there. We had this discussion yesterday.
Brings to light. I see what you did there.
Well, at least, I mean, we knew that Heliod was missing from well, what we feel like Heliod has been missing. So
How-
he could have
Missing
been
no
on this
longer.
plane.
Wait, did
You know,
he say? Did he say he was Heliod?
No.
We're making some pretty big assumptions.
We
right? But,
are.
like, I mean, it's
I mean,
Kinda-
if it looks like a
kinda-
duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
What's a duck?
Ducks exist in
Ducks exist in Theros, don't they?
Are you telling me
Is
that
there a duck?
you,
Is there a
you
duck humanoid?
How old are you?
Is there a
26-year-old
duck
man
race?
that's never ran across a duck?
Is there a duck race?
No, there's not. But I've got to,
I wish there was
I
a
am
duck
overruling
race.
saying There are ducks.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. I wish there was a
Truly
duck
sheltered life.
race. That'd be so cool.
If it smells like a snozberry and it tastes like a snozberry,
The fuck's a snozberry?
Probably a cranberry.
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 Well, I mean, yes, this would not only is this the first time I've ever been possessed by a god, but just so happens that the god I've been looking for this guy's been missing for like a decade or something.
Wow.
I'm turning up.
Yeah,
I get excited. I go. Prospector Azoth.
So have we made it to
a Helio temple?
I guess we were kind of like
Yeah. So
walkie-talkie?
I think by this time you've made it to the temple, and you
Are people
out the
still
front,
reacting like crazy, or like, I mean, obviously the people in the
this like
streets
in particular, that like the people in the streets are like talking. You hear people talking about like this beam of light that came from the sky, and like people are
imagine
like
people would have seen
muttering
that
about
from
it.
so far around.
People are talking about it, but like there's so much speculation. You hear so many different theories as you're walking through the streets.
Yeah.
Being like, I think the gods are back. I think another plane has just come through. Like, and then like someone else is just like, it was probably just the champions. Like, just like shrugging it off.
I heard someone said, "Beam me up, Scotty."
God.
I
see someone make eye contact with me, and I go. I'm like,
just Iron Man him.
No, it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't work out here.
It's probably about this point that like once all the distractions gone, you guys all kind of are aware of something. It's probably taken about this time to kind of figure it out. Azoth doesn't have a shadow at the moment.
Like I look and compare, like
No, like
look at us, yeah, and then look.
Like it's probably taking about this time, like walk, like you've been distracted by what's going on. At this point, just before you reach the temple, you're just like looking at him, and it's not just that he doesn't cast a shadow; he doesn't seem to have shadows on him at the moment.
One of these is not like the other. Can I? I want to poke him.
Get closer to the
Can
temple.
I poke him?
Yeah, you can poke him.
Is he there?
He's there. Yeah, he's still there.
Let me turn up the light.
I slap him.
So I glow.
Yeah, he's still physically there.
He's still physically
as
there.
you're kind of doing that,
Your camera balanced it out.
His shadows seem to come back.
When we get closer to the temple. Is that what you said?
No, just like as it is about that time. Yeah, you're getting close. As you're getting close to the temple, you see shadows start to return, and that's kind of when you almost realized it was happening. It was like once it started to come back, you were like, wait.
Like we didn't notice absence until
until it was back.
As you might want to get that looked at.
As you arrive at the temple is abuzz. There are people running around. And out the front is Lilia.
No, Lilia.
Lilia, who is just like looking up at the sun and at the sky, and sees you coming and looks down at you, and then looks up. He's like, he's closer.
Lilia.
And then looks over at you, and it's just like,
oh my god. Oh my god! I mean, oh our god! Oh our god! Oh our
god! What happened? Did you see? You saw the light.
I lived. I made. I made
a baby.
What do you mean you made? What did you make?
I birthed. Someone. I can't. I'm too excited.
Lilio.
His eyes went black.
Was the light. We were at the Champions Arena, and he stood up from the crowd, and a huge booming voice came from Azoth, and he brought down this light upon the champion after he what's the word that you
roasted him?
Blasphemed or
blasphemed?
Blasphemed against the gods.
You?
Yes,
That's insulting.
The guy with two
Heliod spoke through
thumbs.
you?
Inside check. Inside check. Is she genuinely surprised, or is she
Putting it on.
like was she perceiving something like this of him? Like, is this something she like? Not like the amount of special that Azoth is. Did you
Roll
kind
me
of
an
see
insight
that?
check. Yeah, roll.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said special.
This
Special.
guy really.
Wow, this kid,
That is.
this bitch.
What is my insight?
Do you
Insight.
drive to school or do you take the
Ooh,
bus?
+6. So that is a 24.
Damn. Okay.
You get the idea that this is less of a this guy and more of a finally this guy.
Oh, he's becoming the man he was meant to be.
So excited.
I mean-
I love it.
I don't get that.
I'm so proud.
We know him. He's our friend.
What? So tell me, what did you feel? What happened?
Anything that distracts Fluffy from this loss.
He melted. He melted someone. I mean, not really. The guy was a farm, but he melted them.
Well, I mean, yesterday I made a coin really bright, but today I parted the skies. So look, I
So
wasn't.
you called down the sun.
I mean, look, I'm all excited, and yes, I'm all like whatever. It wasn't me. I wasn't in control. I mean, like it was like a dream, a kind of a astral projection, kind of. Yeah.
Wait. And he spoke through you.
Yeah, someone, some.
He's
It wasn't his voice, for sure. It wasn't Azoth's.
You're a
No,
vassal.
mine's-
Oh, it's got chills.
Vassal.
You're a vassal.
You're a vessel, Harry.
I always knew we found you for a reason. I never dreamed it would be this. You suck.
You mean what?
Vessel.
What just happened? I missed that.
Vassal.
No, it's vassal, isn't it? Is it vassal? Is it?
Yeah,
I
it's vassal.
I heard
No,
you
no,
say
no.
vassal.
Yeah.
It is vassal.
a thing. I think it's
Vassal,
vassal.
vassal is a thing.
But it's
Yeah.
like the same kind of like
Vaseline?
context of calling someone a vessel too, right? Like
No, a
Yeah.
vassal is something that holds something. A vassal is someone,
So
and a vassal is similar, but it's typically like you'd have a vassal of a king would be like
Mhm.
someone that holds land under that king. A vassal is the title
it
they
has
give.
some sort of like
it
speaking
kind of works in
power, as
both.
if yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
The ho-
Can
it
we
says-
be 100% sure that it was Heliod? I mean, we haven't heard from him.
no other god claims the power of the sun.
I know.
He is the god of the sun,
Yeah, if not him,
and
then
you
who?
always had that connection.
Yeah.
that connection. If I could do that sooner, I would have done that a lot sooner.
No.
I-
Not that, but like the light.
Oh. Guess. Kicks a bit of dirt.
I guess.
Shucksy doodles.
But if
Felt so
if
good.
Heliod is close enough to do that, then he mustn't have been on Nyx with the others.
I knew it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Lilio, do gods have to be close to their vassal to be able to do what Azoth
Parade
did?
or what, to speak through them or whatever. Yeah.
I do not know how the gods function entirely.
Oh, this webcam.
Yeah. But just judging by what's happened since the planes have gone, the fact that we haven't been able to hear from them, and now we hear from Heliod, I feel like there is a connection there, yes.
Do you maybe Heliod was being maybe held somewhere else, and then this event of shifting planes possibly released him if he was being held somewhere, or it seems kind of coincidental.
Something like that must have happened. Released or perhaps weakened his binds. If that was the case, enough so that he could speak through and speak through something that has like maybe a. But why still can't we speak with him? I've still tried to commune every day, but I cannot.
Try right
He is
now.
able to
I
speak
mean,
through you.
if he's close or you sense him close, you should try to commune with him now. Huh?
I mean, I can try. I can be the guy.
I just did. I
I
tried after I saw the light, but still I could not get through.
I can start berating the gods again, and then
Yes,
maybe
if the
smite me.
carrot doesn't work, we take out the stick again and see what happens then.
Yeah, maybe don't do that, Fluffy. I'm not. No.
I mean, better me than you.
I mean,
is Heliod a god to speak out in outrage, blasphemy of the gods?
Well, I mean, he is
his
of the law of
first-
justice of right.
If his binds were weakened, would his first
Act
of reappearance be to strike down some mere mortal just because he speaks out upon the gods? I'm sure this happens millions of times a day across the plane.
I mean, if it was the champion, it is not millions of times a day a champion blasphemes against a god. But if
he's
it
not
is,
a nobody, right?
if it is something to do with Azoth as a connection, then perhaps he was. Maybe he can only do stuff through Azoth. If that's true, then he may not be able to extend his reach very far, and that may have been the most impactful situation he could think of.
The other thing I was thinking is if there's any significance of, I mean, it was Angar who won the championship today. I mean, I don't know if you knew that, but would that be of significance?
Word had not reached.
If it was specifically Angar?
I mean, Ignar.
Sorry.
Ignar is known to dislike the gods.
I'm sure it's not the first time he's proclaimed.
He has been a little vocal before. What did he say? Did he?
Can I just recount what he said?
Yeah, he was basically just saying that.
Well,
I'm just
I
a
don't
mortal,
think.
and I'd be your champions of the gods, essentially. So.
Well, I mean, that is not something that he has spoken before, not so brazenly, not in the middle of a arena. So, maybe Heliod thought that was the best way to reveal himself as here.
I mean, what
with as many people as possible.
I mean, I was fairly high up on the bleachers. Do you think that makes for a better reception? Maybe he can't reach me if I'm. Should I get on the? I don't know how these things work.
I don't think that's how that would work, Azoth.
Not necessarily. Possibly, if we take you to Nykthos, maybe you'll have a closer connection to Heliod.
Nykthos is the closest to Nyx. If Heliod is in Nyx, he wouldn't be close enough at all.
Well, what's near Miletus? Is there anything significant?
I mean, things may have been moved recently.
Of religious significance near Miletus prior to these planes moving.
I mean, just this temple. But I mean, one moment. And she just turns back to one of the other acolytes and is like, "Can you bring me that report from my Rose, please?"
Do you mean Across?
And sorry, from Across. So many names. Thank
It's
you.
alright.
From Across, and then half a minute later, this guy, acolyte, comes back holding a like a scroll and pass it to her, and she reads it. I think Heliod isn't on Theros or Nyx. I received this scroll today and passes it over, just kind of into your group in general. Whoever wants to take it can. It is a message directed to Lilio, detailing an increase in the amount of the undead that have been seen roaming, and like roaming around the crypts and branching out further, attack groups and just general numbers of them increasing, and the theory that is proposed by the temple is that it's possible that in when the planes were shifted in some way or another, Theros got moved closer to the underworld.
Heliod
So
was
what,
locked in the underworld.
That sounds like it falls right into Phaenix's plans.
Who's the letter from? Does it say?
The letters from the priest at the temple of Heliod in Akros.
Okay, right, gotcha. So they would be able to notice
the high priest of Akros.
Yeah, they would notice the increase of undead being so close to the crypts.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I am going to.
I think So Lilio. Okay. Lilio's just. He may be in the underworld. And if the gods are further away and cannot bind him as easily, then perhaps he is regaining some of his power.
Lilio, pardon my ignorance, but what? I mean, I would think, my intuition tells me that the relationship between Heliod and Phaenax is not one that is like of kinship, right? Like they would very
They
much
are
so
each
oppose
other's
each other,
almost
right?
great. They are each other's almost greatest rivals. Phaenax thrives himself, or prides himself rather, on tricking Heliod wherever he can, whether it's tricking him personally or his disciples.
And I want to ask another question. I don't want it to be seen as blasphemy, but just from a point of trying to understand. Is it a possibility that Phaenax could have some leverage over Heliod? I mean, I don't know that this has anything like what has happened today, but if he's in the underworld and we know that Phaenax is trying to pull a fast one, is there a way that Phaenax could have some leverage over Heliod and be using his powers to benefit himself?
I mean, perhaps, but that would require Phaenax to be closer and be able to interact with this world. I do not know if he's able to do that.
Have we told her about all of this? I guess, I mean, Azoth, that would be up to you anyways. I don't. We haven't had any conversation with her.
Since
I wouldn't know that
Phaenax
she knows.
tearing open the...
Yeah.
I mean, she knows about
Lines.
that.
Yeah.
Everyone saw that.
Who did we
She's not aware
speak
of
But
to?
there are
Eidolon.
stuff that she doesn't know. Yeah. Okay.
The
Yeah.
Eidolon, yeah.
Who did we
And
speak
I
to
suppose-
about
yeah.
that sort of stuff?
Because that's the underworld stuff.
Elaeda told.
Xenon.
That's
Well,
right.
and
That's what it was.
Elaeda told.
Yeah.
It was the Athreos.
Yes.
Atlas.
Well, she told the priestess.
No,
of Ath-
yeah, the
that-
Athreos.
She told him
Oh
basically.
yeah,
everything
yeah,
Yeah.
Elaeda
Yeah,
did.
that's right.
yeah. At the Akros Temple of Athreos,
Mm.
Yeah.
she told them pretty much everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Do
up to
you-
that point.
Do you think if Heliod was to believe that Phaenax was planning something to do with the underworld, maybe over the past couple of years, that Heliod would have taken it upon himself to take, maybe he's not being bound, maybe he chose to be there
To prevent whatever is going to happen. Yeah.
to surveil, to try to.
I mean, perhaps, but why leave us for so long? And this has
Well-
only happened recently. He's been gone for decades.
Plans
Mm.
like these.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we've experienced this.
he
Plans like
may
these would
see-
have been a long time in the making. Though.
There is you, and you see her kind of wrestling with some stuff for a bit. You don't know all the pieces.
Is that a question, or do you know something?
No. He raises a hand and like does this hand gesture. And you see this kind of shimmering field kind of circle around you, like
Cone
just
of
in case
silence.
everyone, more or less.
Really?
Heliod lost favor with the other gods. He didn't choose to go to the underworld. He was imprisoned there.
By all of the other gods.
When?
Almost 2 decades ago. Or just over, I think. I only learnt of this more recently.
Okay. Because when you sent me out to search for Heliod, that would have been some useful information. That's okay. I understand.
It was deemed not... It was deemed too important to tell.
I'll try not
Did
to take
all
offense.
of the gods
Uh,
participate in the banishment and imprisonment of Heliod?
and what were the circumstances that led to it?
I do not know all the circumstances, nor all the gods that played a part. I know one of the large parts was Erebos. And it had something to do with an old champion of his.
Elspeth.
Erebos's old champion or Heliod's?
Iliod's old champion.
Elspeth.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Who?
It
Elspeth.
was Elspeth.
Elspeth.
the chick
Over
with the big
the-
spear.
The spear, the God Slayer spear.
How do we know who she is?
We
Just
just
heard of
watched her
her in
play
a
on
couple of
it.
stories.
The bardic
Watched her
story
play on
and
it.
the play when we
Yeah.
went. Yeah.
Oh,
In
okay,
the
gotcha.
mural. Yeah.
Sure.
It was only about a month ago that our scrying or that we became aware of this through some scrying and communing, but not with Heliod, obviously. But if it is true that the underworld is closer now to Theros, then perhaps Heliod can be brought back and can mend this fracture.
Have we told Lilio about the piece of thing we're trying to put together?
Eidolon, the Titans, no, none of that stuff.
No. She's pieced together a little bit, you can probably assume. Because you did give her the diary of Kahir.
Mm.
Well, what I'd assume that it sounds like the temples speak to each other, right? So Lilio, you would hear from, the Temple of Iroas, or about goings
Occasionally,
on of other gods.
when they see the information as
Common interest.
They will share information, or when it benefits them that we should know.
So do you
Well,
feel? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that we kind of have reason to believe that Phaenax has some kind of interest in the underworld, hence my kind of assumption that maybe Heliod was there in an attempt to keep an eye on Phaenax, but we, and I kind of like look at everyone individually, getting nods. We have reason to believe that Phaenax's Eidolon is actually hiding out in the underworld. In our travels, we have kind of pieced together some history that none of us really knew of Phaenax's beginnings as a mortal, and his primary quest or mission, purpose to unleash some kind of titans onto this planet, this world, this plane, for yes, a destruction and a kind of a rebirth. We don't really know, but we have reason to believe that Eidolon is currently hiding out in the underworld. We think Vyas was on his way with his crew that we had stopped to go and find that Eidolon. We don't.
Well, he's trapped or being held there. He's not just wandering it, right? Like, yeah.
Thank you, Lindo.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
what I was trying to say.
That's kind of
That's kind of as far as we've got, and everything. There seems to be a lot of things happening, but nothing is really creating a clear path or intention or reason.
As of right now, we are looking for, or we are trying to put together enough money to have some binds enchanted, so that they can restrain an Eidolon. And as I'm sure you're aware, enchanting a item with that sort of magical properties is not a cheap task, which is part of the reason why Fluffy entered the Champions tournament to win money. It's why we have been questing.
Sounds good.
So many side quests.
So
Right.
Just can't seem to level up.
And we're,
Maybe if you had won the Champions League.
Oh, savage! Wow.
We're also
Millie's down.
We're also kind of
that was a bigger burn than Ignar got.
We're also kind of assuming that what we've kind of brainstormed will work too. Would you know of anything that could help us you know,
Wait,
control
was Lilia the
or
one that pointed
capture
us
an
to
Eidolon?
Lilia
Was
pointed
Lilia
us
the
to
one that pointed
Atlas.
us?
Yes.
Oh, okay, she
Yeah.
did. She did. Okay, so she's the one that pointed us to Atlas.
Yep.
But she didn't know that we were now looking for an
Correct.
enchantment or
She
getting
didn't know
money
why. Yeah.
She just said that she might be able to put us in someone who was looking for Phaenax. Okay, gotcha.
Bias.
Bias.
Vias.
Yeah.
Or
So she, yeah.
Yeah.
It's now come full circle, kind of. Back to
Something to bind an eidolon or bind a creature. Magically bind. I mean, perhaps the temple could procure such an item. It would be at no small fee. This would be something that has to be crafted, of course. You would know that. You know that. But I could get it commissioned on behalf of our craftsmen, which may reduce the fee. And for such an important task, they may even do it at quite a decent.
Is there a level of any level of uncertainty on whether or not this item would work or not?
I mean, I've seen them work before.
on an eidolon.
I've seen them work on a few things. Eidolons are one of them. Mages are the other. That's what they're used for more. You disrupt magic with them. They're
Okay.
quite powerful.
Silas
and
chains.
Dispel
quite.
chains.
The null magic manticles is typically what they're referred to as.
Magic manticles. Cool.
They are an expensive item at best. Impossible to come by at other. They require craftsmen from masterwork crafts, and extremely powerful enchanters in order to be created. But I can reach out and see what I can
Have you got a
find.
ballpark figure for us by any chance?
I mean, an item like this would normally be around 50,000, I would guess.
Okay.
With the temple helping you and using our craftsmen, and we may be even be able to get it down to something like 12.
Oh, easy.
Well, that's much more doable.
I
Lilio,
mean,
you said that these are almost impossible to craft and even harder to find. Is there any place that you can think of that we may be able to possibly find while we're trying to raise this money and while the item is possibly being crafted? Is there a way that we can try and double our odds per se?
well, I was going to say one of the things that makes it hardest is the material needed.
So if we can source our own material, this will make things easier.
Greatly, yes.
Okay.
Scavenger hunt.
Roughly how much do we need and what do we need?
That question,
The head of a hydra.
I cannot help you. I don't know what's exactly needed, but I know that if you had the resources, it would help.
Sure.
If you leave that with me, I will let you know. I'll try to contact some people, and I'll let you know later today what it is that you require. This is not my field of specialty.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, along with the prices and the quantities, once they have what they need, maybe if you could get this information too, just to see how long it might take them to craft them. Because I mean, I feel very pressed in that this is a very, like, we need these yesterday.
Okay, well, I can also reach out to see if there are any sets of null magic manticles that we could buy that are already made. I know some temples that have them for problematic people. We may be able to.
Would the courts possibly have a pair if they have to?
The courts
deal
do not
with-
typically afford with. They typically rely on other magic users to stop a magic user, as opposed to using something like this. An item like, for instance, the Court of Miletus did at one point have a pair. However, they went missing a couple of years ago. And that's a lot to go missing.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy crap.
Linda, would your
Wouldn't want that
dad
on
know
my-
anything about that?
Probably.
Perhaps we should
Yeah,
speak to
may Paddy
your
give
dad,
him a visit
even
and
if
find out where they.
the lead.
I mean, imagine if they went missing. He would know they're missing, but if he
But
knew
he may
who
be able to
took
provide
them,
us with a lead, and then I can
Yeah.
possibly use my connections in the underground to
We may be able to find them for free.
chase this lead. But again, this is double, tripling our odds, and I think
Yeah.
we should explore
I
all
think-
avenues.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
I think that's a
possible.
good call,
I
Amos.
So, Lilio, please reach out to whoever you need to. As Lyndall said, this is probably of the utmost urgency at the moment, as I know a large amount of shrines and oracles are heading to Nixos closer to the end of the month. I have a horrible feeling in my stomach that that is going to be past our deadline.
A time of significance, yeah.
So we will do what we can in terms of speaking to Lyndall's father. We will wait for you to tell us possibly who to speak to or what materials we may need for these nullify magic. Did you say manticles? Mandibles? That's what it's called.
Null magic manticles.
No magic manticles.
Magic.
And then hopefully, whatever way, we will be able to obtain these manticles and then do what needs to be done.
Yes, I will speak to the craftsman at Mount Cure. He is the main master and crafts under the place closest to the sun. That may be maybe who you need to speak to and where you would need to bring such wares. But I will speak with him right after this, and hopefully I can let you know. I think this seems like a good way to move forward.
Yeah, we're staying at the Harpy's Nest.
Harpy's Nest, yes.
Yeah, if you need to get with us, we'll try to check in too if it's been a while. So
Not a problem. I can speak to you if I require it urgently.
hey, talk to him though. I don't know if I'm Azoth. Talk to him.
It's who I would plan to speak to.
Yeah,
I don't. You don't want to speak to me?
No, I don't think so. No.
AKA the Vassal.
Veto.
Anything else?
V-Man.
No, let's go kill something.
Well, just a quick question. Was Atlas going to tell us where he knows where to get
He was,
an
yes.
item
So
like that?
yeah. We should just check in at the end and
We
see
got
if
fingers
he's
in all the
checked in
pies.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We are spreading our little fingies everywhere. Let's
We've
not buy the
You've
little...
gone from
we-
like not having direction to being like, I have so many choices, I don't know
We
what
have
to do.
4 manacles show up, and all of a sudden we owe 200,000 gold.
Yeah. We are now in debt.
Have to work
let's provide-
forever.
Let's drop by the harpy's nest and see if a messaging left for us.
I'd also like to go to the general store at some point, please, too.
Mhm.
We can drop by there.
Go
on the
for
way
it.
back, can't we?
Cool.
Yeah.
So on the
Do
way
it
back, go ahead and do some stuff. Yes, you can do it now.
I walk in and g'day. I can't. What's his name again? Wait, what's Amos? What's his
I
name?
don't know if you've. I don't know if
Oh,
we
haven't
have.
talked to
we've never
him.
been
We
here.
haven't
Oh, okay.
No, like we've always just done the general store.
Oh, okay,
It's
right.
just been like in and out.
G'day, bro. I'm interested in a glaive. If you've got anything coming up.
Great.
A glaive, you say? Look, you have to go speak to the weaponsmith for that.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I don't. I've got just more general use stuff here.
No worries. I
Do you
appreciate
have any
it.
health potions really quick?
Yeah, I got a couple.
I know I just shook my entire desk. How much are those vendoring for at the moment?
The planes are tearing apart again.
50 gold at the moment.
If you go, can I please grab one?
Sure you can. Reaches under, pulls out, chucks one up.
Perfect. And I'll hand him 50 gold.
Thank you. Anything else I can help you with?
Thanks for your time for me. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Go to the weaponsmith.
No worries. It's just next to Master Taimon's.
Okay, cool.
Armor smith, weaponsmith, right next to each other.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Their forges actually connect so that they
I was
can...
about. I thought that in my head to ask that, but I was like, man, I don't know why I would ask that. Just let him do his thing. They share a forge.
Yeah, like there's the wall between, but the forge is actually shared so that the fire can remain hot for both of them. You see a burly minotaur on the other side, crafting, like hammering away at it.
Fluffy, come here, buddy. Please don't be racist.
I mean,
Just
specious.
the last time we were here, we kept mentioning things about those guys and minotaurs or whatever, and I air quotes that. It'd be okay, right?
Are you mansplaining to me?
A little bit.
Okay. I go over to the bloke. G'day, mate. Well, that came out pretty aggressive, didn't it?
What can I do for you?
Just wondering what you've got in the way of glaives.
Glaives?
Glaives.
Yeah. Just over on the wall over there. You got glaives, halberds, spears. There's a couple of glaives over there. Some of them nicer than the others. Nice little ornate one I did just recently. Nice little bit of carving. I'm quite proud of that one myself.
What's going to be
Go over, have a
best
look.
to make a mess of someone or something?
I say this one just here. And he walks over and picks one off. And it's probably the nicest one on there. Like,
Of
decorative.
course, yeah, he's a salesman.
With like large curved glaive head. And then like this lovely like ornate stave of a handle that's bound in leather, and then on the tail end of it is just this small like tail end blade as well.
Ooh. How much for something like that, my friend?
This one, oh, that'll set you back. Don't mind me while I Google how much a glaive costs.
I did have it up before.
Just while you're doing that, while I was in the general store, can I get anything I would need to
Go for it.
smoke my drugs?
Yep, you can buy yourself a pipe for like a silver. It's easy.
Good old get your ice pipe.
He'll throw it in with the health potion. Like
Nice, cool.
this one here, crafted by me, is 30 gold.
I will take it. Thank you very much.
Well, here you are. Is it over?
Cool. Any idea where I may be able to get this enchanted if I was looking at doing something.
Enchanted?
So, actually, I know the answer to that question already. I appreciate your time.
Okay. Not a problem. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy that. Let me know how it goes.
Bye.
Please come again.
Anything else?
Come back with a head count.
I know you were looking at getting.
Yeah. Does he sell them as well? Or that would be.
He's got a few of them lined up, but not many. You'd expect that to be at a store for it.
Alright, yeah, do that as well. And don't worry about role playing it. Just tell me what it costs and I'll
Easy.
grab one too.
You head over to the Fletcher.
Yep.
Who also has a bunch of bows, and you buy yourself just a regular longbow, and it costs you about 50 gold.
Okay.
You have a longbow and a bunch of arrows now.
Cool. Thank you. Can I... will he buy my javelins?
And looks at him. I mean, they're pretty beat up, but yeah, took all right care of them. Kind of like, yeah, look, I'll grab these off you. How many have you got?
3.
Say 7 silver for the lot.
Done.
Easy.
You are thinking of taking up archery?
Well, I don't like to talk about it a whole lot because I much prefer using my hands, but after hanging around with Amos for as long as I have, you do tend to pick up a bit of a knack for some of these things.
I did train him for quite a while. I just prefers not to use it.
Yeah, however, just the way I wasn't able to do as much as I would have liked to during the Champions tournament, I think it's time to, as much as I hate it, swallow my pride a little bit. And I think it's going to benefit all of us in the long run. Yeah, there's not a Iroas temple in Melius, is there?
There is.
Oh, there is?
It's up near the arena. I think.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we have spoken about this. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'd like to do that as well.
Not a problem. So you head up. You're going to head off to the temple now.
Yeah.
Anyone else coming with him, or is he going off on his own?
I'm going back to the thingamabob.
Harvey's
Go
nest.
with him.
Actually,
Got nothing else to do.
is
Go with
there I can't remember what it's called. Shooting range, archery range.
Yeah.
Is that on the way to Iroas as well? The Temple of Iroas. I'm assuming it's that way.
It's near the arena, like in that sparring area.
Yeah, I am going that way because I want to test the arrow.
Okay, sure. You head there. So you all go to your respective places. Mud. We agreed that you've got that second spell now, don't you?
The first, just the one.
Yeah.
Like not an additional one.
So the
it's just swapped out.
The
great weapon.
No. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
I'm talking for. You've got compelled duel and the other one, right?
Crusader's Mantle.
Or yeah, Crusader's Mantle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You get to the temple. And there is a large burly priest out the front, who looks like he's in like sparring clothes as opposed to a robe, which is pretty standard from what you've been in the temples around for Iroas.
Walk up.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be right here, and I sit down on the steps and pull out my notebook and start.
No worries.
messing in it, so.
Yep. We break in this for a short intermission. Here we go back.
The stream is sponsored by D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond! Please, D&D Beyond, hello!
Fluffy, I do believe it is. I saw you at the Champions League.
Yes,
bad luck on the fight, but you are quite the warrior for someone that's first time in the league.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Your name is? You know mine. It's only fair.
Of course. I am Thantius.
Tantius, nice to meet you. And I do the old wrist, yeah, that one.
Viking.
Yeah,
Braces it.
What race is he? Sorry, well, I should know.
He's a human.
Oh, he's a human. Okay, so
Very,
my
a large human.
yeah, so my hand wraps around his arm. Okay, cool.
Not as much as most humans, but yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
This dude is jacked.
Yeah, as is everyone else.
Worshipping the gods
he's a priest?
worshipping
Oh,
eye rollers to him is working out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Just
One
imagine.
for eye rollers,
I'm just
two for eye
imagining
rollers.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
That's the
Yeah,
vibe I'm trying to get off.
yeah,
This
that's
dude is a
cool, yeah.
bodybuilder for the gods.
perfect. Yeah, I love it. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's cool.
What brings you to the temple?
So, I have this great axe, which has been a fantastic servant and has allowed me to do so many things. However, I feel like I'm just a little bit limited with it. I've purchased this glaive, and I'm wondering if I can have this enchanted, and I can leave the great axe with you, guys, and then we, how we can work that out. Is that something we can look at doing?
I believe so. This weapon was probably blessed by. Was awarded to you as a blessing, was it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. We should be able to. I should be able to help with something like that.
Awesome.
Come with me.
Awesome.
Brings you inside the temple, and then he does look at you, Lyndall, and say, "We'll just have to wait here. This is something for."
For sure. And I'm drawing
just
out.
the followers.
I'm just sketching out Azoth falling down this beam of light,
Yeah.
and underlining it, put question marks next to it. Just
Now, I will admit this is the first time I've done this since Iroas has been torn away, so I do not know how well this will work. But come with me, and he leads you into this large chamber, that is the main shrine. It says, pull out both your weapons and hold them both out in front of you. And then he reaches forward and puts his hands on them, and he says, and then he basically calls out to Iroas. And he says, "Let your power fuel this warrior's strikes. Let your fury reign through him, and your strength empower him." And I would like you to roll a d20
Okay. Come on, please be good. Don't roll
Are
bad.
you just shaking them?
No, yeah. I'm just like. Ah!
I feel it.
oh my god!
That's an 8.
People at church when they touch their head and they're like,
An 8.
An 8. Yeah.
So you're doing it, and you can't feel anything happening.
Okay.
It's the
And
Christmas spirit. You have to believe.
However, you are not alone in doing this, which means. Okay. So the priest smashes the two weapons together, and there's this bright flash of light, and then this kind of echoing ring of the steel, and he's like, look, I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know if that worked.
I don't feel any different.
Does the weapon look any different?
I mean, they look the same to me. I think they look the same to me.
They look pretty much. Both weapons look the same.
I mean, yeah, they look the same. Yeah.
Maybe just give it a go. There's some
On
test
you
areas
or
outside.
oh right, okay, right, okay, sorry.
On you or
On you?
I'm so bummed to rod, mate. Well, I go outside and I try and test the glaive and the great axe.
Easy. Roll and use the great axe first.
Yep.
Roll an attack with it.
That's a 9. That's a 10
With your modifier.
To hit, yeah. Like
Yeah,
2.
so it's only a 9.
2. What? No,
he's telling you.
Okay.
To 10.
Oh,
It's only a 9 now.
okay.
So the target dummy you managed to miss somehow.
Okay.
Attack with the glaive.
Hang on, I need to add the glaive to my sheet. Just give me a second. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to take that.
What he thinks is a 10 is a 9.
Oh, come on, that's cocked.
So the weapons have changed.
Oh my goodness gracious me. 16.
You feel like it's a good strike, and then it just seems to come out better than what you thought. It's an 18.
It's a plus 2.
Two.
It's a plus 2. Oh shit. Okay.
Benefits of you actually increasing your piety specifically. The weapon is more powerful
That's
than it was,
dope.
as your devotion to your god has increased.
Tedios! It worked!
Well, good to see that the blessings of the gods are still working with still with us.
I'm gonna leave
Did
this.
you come out past me to do this?
No, I'm still inside.
Oh, okay. Like there's like target dummies inside.
Yeah.
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 It's that kind of place.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, I'm going to leave this great axe with you. May it serve its next owner as well as it has with me.
Thank you.
Um,
We'll pass that on to a new acolyte that comes in and let him know that it came from a great warrior.
Put your name on it. Put your name on it.
And
Initials at least. F.
F.
He has an actual name. We just call him Fluffy.
I engrave FS on the staff.
Ooh.
And
Fluffy Smith.
and I walk out and looking pretty stoked. But also feel like part of me is missing from the great axe having been parted with it. Just having spent so long with the great axe.
Can I? Where's the sun in the sky in relationship to the temple? Is it like setting?
Yeah,
Or
setting kind of over it.
Is Fluffy between me and that sunset?
Sure.
I look up at him and I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I put that image to memory and I keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
What?
Right. Well, while he's doing that, I've gone over to the archery range, and I just want to test the arrow to see if there's any effects, or does it do anything?
No worries. You draw and you are aiming, and it's this weird kind of like as you draw and fire a normal arrow, regular. You draw this arrow, and there almost seems to be this star line adjoining the end of your arrow to the target. And I'll say, for the sake of how this works, this arrow is a This is a +2. These are +2 arrows.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's cool.
So with the amount of harpy feathers I have left, which is 8, and I can split them twice, so I've got 16, and it requires 3 fletchings.
3
to make
fletchings
an
on it.
arrow.
Yeah. So you can make
So-
another.
What? 16 divided by 3.
I mean, 5 divided by 3 is 5. You can make 5. You can make an additional 5. So you'll have 6 of them.
6 arrows. Okay, cool.
Mm.
Fantastic.
You and after you shoot it, you do go and pull it out, and it is still usable. So as long as they're not broken.
Okay, as long as they don't break, sure.
Yeah,
And I
they
don't
might be-
miss with them. If I miss with them, then they're gone.
Gone for
Gotcha.
a walk.
Might have to go for a wander.
Yeah,
Finding
and if
finding-
I find them.
Finding a golf ball in a rough.
Right, okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever looked for arrows. It is like impossible.
Yeah, that's what I was
Someone that
just
does practice a little bit of archery, yes,
Yeah.
agreed. All
Even
right.
if they're like
Anything
that
else?
bright neon colored Nox and
Oh,
stuff.
it doesn't
Sorry.
matter. They just disappear.
Oh, I'm keen to go kill something.
It's pretty
We have
late,
time.
isn't it?
Well, maybe tomorrow.
Head back
So-
to the harpy's nest.
Check in
Uh,
with and see if Atlas has been here.
Yeah, see if there's any
You
messages.
ask at the counter. No one recognizes. No one says that they've seen Atlas.
Extremely large
I just-
minotaur come in.
Yeah,
I mean, he would have
he's
left
very-
a message specifically for us. So if there's nothing
Yeah.
for us, it's
Nothing yet. However, as you're hanging around in the evening, a Lilio does arrive.
Ooh.
And speaks with you briefly, letting you know that there is a way that you could get them crafted, and if you could bring him some adamantine, you could he could possibly like craft the manacles, and then you'd have to take them to an enchanter to get them enchanted.
Okay.
so. How much adamantine? Do we know? Just a pound, 2 pounds.
I don't know, probably more than that.
All the kilos.
I'm not there, by the way.
Okay.
Where did you piss off?
Probably like 3 pounds of adamantine will go, like a kilo. Solid chunk of it. You probably need more than that,
Lilio-
actually. Probably need like
thinking
almost
5
10 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
10 pounds. Wow, okay.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
going to be waste and stuff, so.
There
Yeah.
better cannot be waste. These guys are
I'm,
pros,
I'm
man.
assuming in my
Yeah,
head
true.
adamantine is kind of like gold, where it's like veins of it.
Actually,
through,
yeah,
like,
if we're
a
just
rock.
think
if
there
we're
would
just
be-
going for like manacles. Actually, yeah, let's go like 5 pounds. 5. I think 5's a good number
Yeah,
there.
that's what I pictured in my head.
Yeah.
Did he tell us where to locate this, or has he just told us the material itself?
He's just said the material. As for where you locate it, that's kind of, you'd need to find that out. Like Lilio's like, I do not know where it can be located. I know it exists on the mountains out there. But I would assume that you'd probably want it mined already. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know any of the mines or if you know any of the people that would get it.
And how long would it take if once we have the materials?
Once
know
you
who
have
we
the
should
materials.
possibly speak to. Outside Akros, there is a quite large tribe
Of dwarves.
of, I believe, some very good miners.
We don't really know their miners, but they look like they could mine pretty well.
I believe they said they had some
They
plans
did.
to move
Oh,
into
they
the
did
mountains
too!
to go mining.
They did too. Let's go. Let's go visit my mate. What's his name?
Yeah,
Um,
I knew you wrote it down.
Uh,
That's so good. That's so cool.
uh,
I love when it loops back up. It's so good.
Denteus. No, Denteus is the
I
leader.
love
Duther.
I love it when a plan
Duther.
comes together.
We're gonna go
Yeah,
speak to
oh,
Duther in Akros.
Yep.
Let's go speak with Duther.
Good thing it-
Medusa.
Maduta.
He said it would only take him like 3 days of hard labor to create them.
Okay.
Okay. Once we obtain this adamantine, we will bring it back, and Or would it be better to take it directly to Mount Cure?
Straight to him. Yes.
Straight to him. Okay.
Also,
Yes.
Did you say Mount
He
Cure?
can
Cure.
bless and do the work.
As
Like,
in
what does it sound like? Friggin' adamantium. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
adamantium, yeah, but it's adamant.
Mount Cure as in
Wolverine.
near Ereskos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mount Cure it's like it's in between.
No,
Cross and
I'm
Ereskos,
very
right?
aware of where it is.
so
okay.
also Lilio, if we can ask, and I assume you're probably still doing this just to be sure, that all the rest of your lines are still, looking for, the
Yes.
other avenues.
No,
Yeah.
I've already sent out a message to a couple of the temples to look in to see if anyone has any manticles.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the pair that I did know about that was held by one of the temples has been destroyed recently. A rather
Recently.
powerful mage managed to break the enchantment,
Do you mind
so
if we
they will
ask
not be of use.
what temple and where?
They would not like that to be known. I do apologize. As for what temple, it was one of Thassa's. But I cannot tell you where. It is a secret location.
I understand. Thank you for letting us know what temple though.
You're welcome.
Um,
Anyway, I yes.
No, I was going to ask a DM question, so continue.
Okay. I'm going to go now. I will keep in contact you if it is needed, and best of luck with any of this.
Thank you.
And she leaves. Go for the DM question.
My glaive has reach. What
Yes.
does that mean?
You can attack creatures within 10 feet of you, not just 5.
Opportunity attacks as well within 10 feet, right?
No, that's Polar Master.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Wait.
so you can
As
attack.
they
Your
enter,
attack
as they-
range
yeah,
is
yeah.
So you can attack within 10 feet of you now instead of just 5.
Yeah.
But it also means when you're making opportunity attacks, they have to leave 10 feet of you
Yes,
for you to
so they
make
have
that
to get further
opportunity attack.
away.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's fine. That's one
For everyone knows, Thassa is the god of the sea.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool.
If that helps with possibly finding that location.
And those of you that know of the gods, which is pretty much all of you, or have like done any, know that she is heavily associated with knowledge.
Before we go to bed tonight, I just want to have a chat with Amos before we go down for a sleep.
Where's Azoth?
Where is Azoth?
You don't know?
Did you just disappear on our
Yeah,
way back?
yeah,
Or you
as
sneak
we
out of the
walked
bar? Or
back
how
to
did
He got
when did
sucked
you
into the sun.
You guys went to the temple. You guys went
okay.
to the temple. Amos went to go archery, and
Okay.
I did not.
He went for a wander.
Okay.
Before you guys do your conversation, just quickly, the bard is playing. I want to just acknowledge that he's doing a good job and sit there and listen to the Elvish
If he is
bard.
doing,
The
if he
elf.
is, if he is
Are you
doing
gonna
a
sit at
good
the
job,
table with the other elves, or you?
Yeah, I'll sit with the other elves if they're there. Yeah.
They're there watching their friend play, and he's quite a lovely musician.
Yeah.
And it's a very different kind of tune and
Like a whole
kind of
other genre or something
yeah,
would be. Yeah.
pretty much.
Angelic.
And occasionally one of the other guys actually gets up and picks up and pulls out an instrument
Ooh.
and joins him for a short amount of time. One of them has a flute, one of them has a lyre, one of them comes up with a harp for a short amount of time. They just kind of compliment him as they go through and play music for everyone.
Alright. Fluffy, are we in our room?
I don't know. Are we? I think we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you said you wanted to talk, I would have followed you up to the room.
Amos, I found out some pretty interesting information from Silverpaw, my partner in the Champions League.
Mhm.
I know what my family does. What my family do. Did you?
You know what your family do?
I know what role my family has. They are
Shitty the Iron Name board.
the honor guard for Brimaz.
The iron.
For Brimas.
Brimaz, he's the king of the Leonins.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
And they are the honor guards for them.
Where's the king of the Leonins located?
Areskos.
Areskos. Right, they are Areskos.
She said
I
that.
told you where I told you where I found you. It was in the fields of Areskos.
Yeah, I think I've pieced together a little bit. The Shadowmanes are iconoclast against all people who follow gods. I think I was left because I'm blessed by Aroas.
And the Leonins are not. The Leonins are that word you said.
Iconoclast. They're against us. They're against the god. They don't
They don't follow.
They don't
gods,
follow the
per se.
gods. I think.
Interesting that theoretically you and Ignar should actually get along.
Wow. Yeah. I think if we're gonna go to Mount Cure to have these manacles made, I think I want to go and speak with someone there. But it may be very dangerous. From what?
Well, I'm with you. If you want to go speak to your family or someone in your pride.
I think so. I mean, I know as well as you do. I haven't been in the world either.
It's probably more, I guess, Leonas that travel together or group together.
I would really like to go and speak to Silverpaw.
Is Silverpaw willing to take you or lead us there?
I don't.
She just happy to provide directions.
I think she's happy to speak to us when we get there. I don't know if she would lead us in, and I'm unsure of the reception I will receive walking back into Areskos after 30 years of not being there.
Well, I mean, our friends are, from what we've seen today, more than capable. And
Azoth being a god helps.
Vessel, let's not make his head too big.
I mean,
Vassal. So I'm sure they'll have your back, and Lyndall has grown quite close to you as well. So we'll follow you. We'll help you where, and if you think that the right thing to do at the moment is to speak to Silverpaw and possibly enter. Speak to someone in the pride, even speak to the king if you can. What are you hoping to achieve by doing that?
I don't know.
It just feels like the right thing to do.
It just feels like the right thing to do at this time. When you found me, was it just me? Was there anything else?
No, you were alone in a field, and I wasn't particularly looking for anything. I was just passing through. As you know, I was actually fleeing from Xenon at that time, and I'd run from Miletus and was heading as far north as I could at that point, and after some time and speaking to a few different people, I actually spoke to an oracle before I found you. And the oracle actually said something to me before I found you.
What did he say? What did she say?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we visited the Temple of Clothos a week ago, and she recognized me.
Yeah.
But I didn't recognize her straight away. That was the oracle that I spoke to after I fled Miletus. And it was only a week later that I found you. And when I found you, her words rang true in my mind that my downfall would come when I forsake a child. I don't know what that meant at the time, and I still don't really know what that means because you're not a child anymore. But I have lived my life trying to raise you well and not live the way I used to. But if I will do what I can to be by your side.
I very much appreciate it, and I am forever grateful for you taking me in. Thank you. And I walk out and leave him to his night's festivities and go to bed.
Yeah, he's not in the mood to schmuck the drugs now.
I think that makes for a pretty good time to call it for the session because we're almost 11 up. Pretty gone for like 3.5 hours. I think that makes for a pretty good time to wrap up, considering if we keep going, we're going to be stopping early morning in the game.
True.
So we'll call it there. That was a good session. That was good fun.
I got a +2 glaive!
That's pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was looking into like blessings of the gods, and I was like, wait, that's actually because you've gone up in piety. That's how that works.
Wow. That's so cool.
If you had a roll better, it could have been even more. But
really? Oh, damn. I can't believe I rolled an 8. That's so bummer. Such a bummer.
I had to be like above 15, like just naturally above 15. There's an extra little perk you can get.
Oh, wow.
Alas.
Oh, maybe I can go and get it re-enchanted. I'm just joking.
FYI, I have that scroll from the High Priest of Heliod in Akros.
Yeah, I'm aware that you've got it.
I am deciphering that shit and using it when need be.
I am fully aware that you are currently as soon as he leaves, you're like practicing the handwriting with your forgery kit. As soon as you're like, I'm holding onto this, I'm like, fuck.
I've got some stuff if I need it now.
What is it?
The scroll with the report on it, right?
So that report that
from the High Priest
gave
in
us from the High Priest in Akros, from the Temple of Heliod, I now have his handwriting.
Basically can forge his
and seal
document,
and seal
and seal. So if we need to get, we're good on that front now.
How are you guys feeling about that one? That was pretty roleplay heavy, and I know some of you didn't get to do as much stuff, but it was
good.
Some fun stuff in there.
I want to know where Azoth's gone.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on with Azoth.
How you feeling? How you feeling, Azoth?
I mean, I didn't see that. That wasn't something we discussed.
No.